Two wild Yinzers kicking through the door, loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burb with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. From the bug with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Hola, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Wow, it's great to be back. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to episode 948 of the Two Dum Yinzers. I want to say to everybody today, welcome back. Mike, we are just under a week from the NFL draft. So much going on here in the Yinzerverse, if you will, starting today all the way through next week, Mike. So much to get into, so much exciting things happening here in Pittsburgh, if you will. Michael, how are you today?
I am amazing, good sir. I am damn happy to be here. The draft a mere 6 days away. The excitement in the air here in Pittsburgh. I can't wait, brother. It's so close to taste it.
It sure is, everybody. Welcome to the show. Glad to see everybody today. Let's go see Tasty Sack on the board. He says, this shit is so gay, just like your kids. Just like your ugly face, Tasty Sack. You can't come up with your face. As a matter of fact, I'll put you on right now if you agree to come on and talk to us and say that's my face. I challenge you. I'll give you the code right now. You can hop on and I can talk about your ugly face and your ugly mom and your ugly siblings and your little penis and everything that applies to you. So Tasty Sack, if you will, please come see us, please. Everybody else, welcome back to the show. Glad to see you. I do want to say good morning to Cody. Cody Silva says, what it do? Great seeing you, Cody, my man, all the way from Texas. Christophus from South Florida, what's up? Always great seeing Christophus on the terrible board. I know he's ready for the draft. Hearing from him a few days ago, he's really excited, and he's pretty much right there with the rest of us guys. Very excited this week for everything that's going on here in Pittsburgh. We'll get to everything here shortly. Christopher says, happy Friday to you as well, sir. Corey, don't drink that. He says, hey, everybody, Palm Beach Pete here. Palm Beach Pete. And finally, Christopher says, it is going to be a crazy week in the Berg. Wish I was there. So much going on. So much. And then also RB adding to Tasty Sack's Rebuttal for our rebuttal, he says this Tasty Sack's mom begged me to become Muslim so I wouldn't be able to wipe my ass anymore. She wanted to use her tongue as my TP. So there you go, Tasty Sack. Have a great weekend. Tortilla, howdy, gentlemen. Always great seeing the great Tortilla Jackson from all the way out in Sacramento, California. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the show. That's right. This is the Two Dum Yinzers again, episode 948. Mike, let me knock some things out because there's a lot to get into today. And specifically with all the news that's happening, there's really no good place to start. So you just have to start somewhere. Let me start outside of the gridiron for a few moments just to get the show rolling, to get some scoop out. Pittsburgh Pirates, Mike, after splitting the series with the Washington Nationals over the week, the beginning of the week, they will be back at it today for a weekend series against the Tampa Bay Rays. That starts today. It's a 3-game set, Mike. That starts today at 6:45. A home stand for the Buccos, which just adds to this great week because not only do the Buccos, who are in first place, they get this weekend series at home against Tampa. Big series. Tampa's in first place in the AL East, just as we are in the NL Central in first place. So it's going to be a big series. The Pirates sitting at 11-8, first place, getting ready to head into this series against the Rays. That this weekend at PNC Park, guys. Again, just to start of the madness that's going to be here in the Yinzerverse over this next week, Mike. This next 10 days. The next 10 days is going to be something amazing. And there's no, come on, there's no beating around the bush. Everybody knows why. The NFL draft right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Next Thursday starts all the way through Saturday. I do think at this point, we do know that Chop will be on site all 3 days. I think Derpy's going 2 days. Finch, if he gets back from Vegas in time, he might be down there for 1 day at the end. I still have to decide what I want to do, but we are going to have representation down there for the whole entire draft. I know that we're excited. We're going to run a live stream for the first night of the draft right here. All kind of amazing things, guys. It's going to be heading down the pike this coming week, these next 10 days, if you will, with the NFL draft just sitting 6 days away. It's unbelievable. This draft, Mike, is so close. I didn't think it would ever be here. Here we are, just sitting less than a week away.
Right. It's like I said in the intro, man, it's so close you can taste it. It's a lot of stuff happening in the Berg. Like you said, man, the Buccos, the draft, the Penguins back in the playoffs for the first time in years. It's, oh, God, man. What a time to be a Pittsburgh sports fan, baby. A lot of good things happening.
A lot of the
upswing, baby.
A lot of the black and gold gear, the garb is coming out of the closets this week. No matter which team you're representing, it's all going to be represented well this week. As Mike mentioned, we do have the series with the Pirates and the Rays this weekend, big series, but that's not all. The Pittsburgh Penguins, as Mike mentioned, do start the playoff run tomorrow against the hated Philadelphia Flyers. This game's at home tomorrow at 8:00 p.m. And then game 2 of the series will be Monday. So it works out good. The Penguins won't be in town the same time that the draft is going on as they head on the road next Wednesday at Philly and then Saturday at Philly as well. They won't be back home till Monday the following week. So you have the Pirates. You have the Penguins starting tomorrow. That goes all the way up until the draft, Mike, and then they'll be in Philly, and then the draft here at the end of the week. So much going on in the Bird here over this next week. A lot of stuff. I can't wait to get into the Steelers scoop. There's a lot to get into. New news regarding just maybe, getting some scoop from Aaron Rodgers sooner than later. So a lot to get into, Mike. Before we get into any of that, we have a few more things we want to get into. We do want to say good luck to those Penguins, though, as they do get ready to start that playoff run tomorrow, Mike. And it is the first of 4 legs for the big bet here on the show. We need all 4 of our Pittsburgh teams to win in the first round of the playoffs to set that forward. But Mike, let's wait no longer. I want to talk about the other football team right here in Pittsburgh. Of course, the soccer team, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, Mike, they lose the what did they lose? They lost the U.S. Cup round of 32 game to the New York Red Bulls 3-1, but that's all right. That's just the midseason tournament. They'll be back at it tomorrow against Detroit City FC. It will be right here at Highmark Stadium in Pittsburgh. So hopefully they can get back on track, Mike, because they have a huge part to do with this big deal we have on the show.
Yeah, they do. Luckily, that tournament was not involved in it, so I can still hopefully wear your pubes on my forehead.
That's what we're all hoping for.
It's been a dream of mine ever since I met you.
I don't disagree with that. Let's also talk about, Mike, the UFL kicked off last week. Week 4 in the UFL kicked off as the Louisville Kings beat the Houston Gamblers 24-22. That was yesterday. There are also 3 more games throughout the weekend, Mike, continuing tonight with Dallas at Columbus. Dallas is 3-0. Columbus is 0-3. That's an 8 o'clock game tonight if you want to watch some American football on your television tonight, the UFL. And then also tomorrow there are 2 games. The 2-1 St. Louis Battlehawks travel to face the 2-1 DC Defenders. That's a 12:30 game on Saturday. And then, Mike, the later game on Saturday is the 3-0 Orlando traveling to play the 1-2 Birmingham Stallions. That's a 4 p.m. game to wrap up the UFL Week 4. Already going to be in mid-season like next week of the UFL. So much going on in sports. The women haven't even started playing football here yet. The women haven't even started playing soccer yet. So much stuff to keep us occupied until football season. And Mike, football season is going to be extra special this year just because the draft again is right here on the North Shore in something we never experienced before.
No, and something we never thought would ever happen, would ever be here in Pittsburgh. So that's awesome. For the longest time, it was just Radio City Music Hall in New York. Then it started bouncing around. Then they announced us last year, and my God, been counting down the days since last draft.
Absolutely. A couple more things before we do get rolling here. I do want to say, Mike, I just want to go back on the Pirates here for a couple minutes tonight. AJ Burnett will be in the house for the big game tonight against the Rays, throwing out the first pitch. Of course, a big part of that team 10, 13 years ago. And then also tomorrow, if you make your way down to PNC Park, you could get yourself a Paul Skeens Cy Young bobblehead. So lots of things, just adding the icing and the whipped cream and the cherry and everything on top of this great week in the Yinzerverse. So much going on. And one final thing before we get into our Steelers scoop to get this show rolling, do check out, if you are in Las Vegas, kind of directing this toward John and Vegas and everybody, Finch is out in your stomping grounds for the next week. He's here till just before the draft starts. Get on Discord, find Finch, and set something up. He'll be more than happy to go out and have a couple beers with you, or Finch from right here on the Two Dum Yinzers. Get a hold of him on Discord or get a hold of us, and we'll get a hold of him, whatever you want to do. You get a chance to get together and hang out with Finch. Exciting, right?
Exciting time, baby.
Exciting times. But here we go, everybody. Let's get into it. 1 week from the draft. Pittsburgh Steelers time. No, nothing else matters this week than Pittsburgh, guys. And we do welcome all of the Yinzer fam to the house today to talk about everything that's going on. Let me jump on the board to grab a few more of these messages, Mike. Before we do get started, Tortilla says, howdy, gentlemen. Always great seeing Tortilla. The original OG, Yinzer Joe is in the house. He says, what's up, Yinzers? What's up, Yinzer Joe? Great seeing you, brother. I hope you're ready for the draft. Somber says, yo, what's up, Somber? Always great seeing Somber, my man. Kenneth Jones in the house also. What's up, Kenneth? Always great seeing the great Kenneth Jones on the board. Christopher says this, Jordan Tyson has a workout tomorrow. Do you guys know if the Steelers are going to attend? And also Tater says, good evening, Schittsburg case. Good afternoon to you there, Tater Tart over in Ireland. Of course, the resident Browns fan. And then also Yinzer Joe says, I know 18 teams are attending Tyson's workout tomorrow. I don't know which teams. I do not know either, Mike.
No, neither do I. Neither do I. Because I saw when Christopher asked, I started looking as well, and all you see is 18 teams. Everyone's saying 18 teams, but no one will say which 18 teams.
Interesting.
It's very, very either well guarded or people just are hearing or reporting like the rumors of like, hey, we're probably going to attend, and they're counting that is probably what reporters are saying to come up with their list of 18 teams.
And then also this morning, I'm reading an article about Michael Pittman. He talked to Aaron Rodgers. This is some of the big scoop this morning about Aaron Rodgers, guys. He may be getting ready to make that decision sooner than later. Getting a little scoop, some nuggets here, some nuggets there. This was what was said for Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman says this, I think Aaron's close to making a decision. But then again, I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a couple. We are all waiting to figure out what the rest of you people think with the rest of you, people think we know nothing, is what Michael Pittman says. Mike, but some of the reports I'm seeing, even our RB this morning, reporting that it might be pretty close to getting that decision made. And initially, that was the plan, was to get the decision made prior to the draft. So
Yeah.
it's kind of coming together, if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah, and excuse me. Yeah, this is like the time frame we're all thinking like before the draft. I don't think we thought it would be like the week before the draft or 2 days before the draft or the day before the draft or 5 minutes before we make our first pick. But it's getting closer to, and as some of the contracts, like we've been debating about, like that 15 to 20 mil, it wouldn't surprise me if it's in that range, incentive related type deal as well. A nice little contract for him for what he did last year and what we hope he can do this year in the offense. Be awesome for him to be here. But if not, I'm looking forward to the next wave of quarterbacks coming into Pittsburgh.
In the second part of this article from Michael Pittman, he says, I got a chance to talk to Aaron. We did not talk anything about football. It was more of just like a meetup. We just ran into each other in Orange County. He said, you guys got to understand, Aaron's going to do what he wants. I don't think that I could convince him one way or another. Just give him his space. I think what's funny about that is the fact that they just ran into each other in Orange County. But you know what? I guess it could happen. So
like, what are the chances?
Some of the speculation be that it is going to be coming within the next week, so we will certainly be keeping our eyes on that every step of the way. I don't want to get too far behind, Mike. It's Friday. I don't know what to expect the week before the draft, so I'm going to keep up on the board. I don't want to get too far behind because if we get behind, then I'm going to be insane, and we don't want me to be insane.
No, we don't.
Christopher says this. He says they better be there. Also, Somber says a lot of stuff being said about Brian Angelico in his press conference this morning. John says, Ryan, I'll call you after the show. Don't be a dick and answer. Let's go right here to Andrew Joe. He says, I don't know about Tyson. If you invest in an injury-prone player, you want to get your money's worth. He seems to get hurt a lot.
Yes, he does. And that's the frustrating thing about him, because he's so talented. But my God, like, it felt like every year in college he had a significant injury. And my God, with the field that we have, do we want someone who has soft tissue injuries and major knee injuries playing on this field? Yes, I know people are injured, so you can't shy away from that. But when it's 3 out of the 4 years you're in college, that to me is a major red flag.
Let's go to Tyrone, who is claiming that JPJ is the GOAT, but I heavily disagree because Tyrone, my friend, you are the GOAT. Welcome to the show. As always, Ty, great to see my friends. Go to Christopher Dobbins. Christopher, I do want to say welcome to the show. Welcome to the board. He says, good morning to you, sir. Hope all is well. Somber says, Brian Angelico says, Will Howard has been impressive in the quarterback room, picking up the offense and the intricacies of the playbook to this point. That was by way of Faraball. And finally, Mike Tyrone says this, I'm good on Tyson Cooper Jr. all day, every day. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Welcome back to the two Dum Yinzers. And they're in the extremely busy Yinzerverse, if you will, Mike. So much going on with the black and the gold here for over the next 10 days. We're going to be up to our necks in work for sure here at the show. But you know what? I look forward to this because the 6 busy months of the year, when they're done, once you get preseason, and then you get the season, then you get the playoffs. But once that's done, the off season, it's a different beast. So handling the off season is kind of, it's hurry up and wait. Sometimes there's nothing going on, and then you get into days like today and the next week when you have a bunch going on. But you know what? We'll welcome it, Mike, because we are smack dab right in the middle of off season. So we're getting there slowly but surely, but we are making our way back to the Steelers NFL season coming up, Mike, the 2026 campaign, if you will. So much happening. Let me grab Somber here on these last couple, and then we're going to get into some Steeler talk.
Do it.
Somber says also the Steelers will be a tough physical team as for the blend of the KOC Shanahan offense and McCarthy's offense. Angelico says the scheme is extremely adaptive to personnel. He mentioned the tight end room specifically when talking about building the scheme.
More tight ends, right? More tight ends.
I can't take these tight ends.
Because I read those comments earlier too, Somber, and the first thing I thought of on that tight end comment and I think, oh my God, we're going to get 45 tight ends again.
Yinzer Joe says picking up the playbook and running it are two different things. Howard is intelligent, but I'm more worried about his athletes' attributes, is what Yinzer Joe is saying on the board. Somber says LOL. So much to get into, guys. I do want to get into a few things here. We do have some information regarding let's see, some of the NFL legends, Mike. Some of the NFL legends, current and past, that will announce the second through third round draft picks. Bussy will be in town for that. Jerome Bettis, of course. Jimbo Covert, Curtis Martin, John Stallworth, James Conner will be introducing the Cardinals players. Brian O'Neill, Joey Porter Jr., Tony Dorsett, Hall of Famer from right here. Also Andy Lee, Pat McAfee, Paul Puzlesny, Joey Porter Sr. These are a bunch of Pittsburgh-related people that will be making announcements for the second and third rounds. Mike, I'll get the first round guys here in just a second, but that's going to be neat because, again, at the end of the day, these are all people that are connected to Pittsburgh, from Tony Dorsett, to Pat McAfee, to Puz, to Jimbo Covert. So, again, just such a Yinzer enriched week coming up, and you got to love this if you love your black and gold. You got to.
Dude, we probably could have wheeled down half of Canton with their relationship, not just to Pittsburgh, but like Western PA in general, and just get all the Whitfield legends that are in the Hall of Fame just down here announcing picks. Yeah, it would blow the NFL average NFL fan's mind of how much great talent came from this area.
It sure does.
And like that hasn't even touched on the couple Steeler legends that are going to be out announcing picks too.
Absolutely, Mike. We're going to get into all that and so much more. I do think that Derpy, he's going to be heading, at least he's talking, because, again, Mike, I just let him go sometimes for a couple of days because he'll ask me questions, and then he'll answer his questions, and then he'll change his decision, and then he'll change his mind, and he'll ask me if I want to be involved. So I just have to let this go all the way till next week, and then I'll just jump in right wherever he's at. But, Mike, he's planning on going to the Cam Hayward tailgate block party at the draft, whatever it is. He was telling me all kind of Steelers that are going to be there. That is also going on, Mike. So much stuff. Let's get into some of these other players or people that you might see announcing draft picks, Mike, next week. Arizona, of course, we did mention James Conner, who is from Erie and went to Pitt University and played for the Steelers for a little bit. The Atlanta Falcons will be having Michael Turner. The Ravens will be having Mark Ingram. Who else is going to be making announcements? Shane Conlon for Buffalo. Jake Delhomme from the Carolina Panthers will be making announcements. Jimbo Covert, of course, from the Chicago Bears. Kenny Anderson will be making announcements for the Cincinnati Bengals.
No shit.
Yes, sir. Tony Dorsett with the will be making Cowboys announcements. Phil Dawson for the Browns. Remember Phil Dawson, the kicker?
Yep.
Let's see. TJ Ward for Denver. Calvin Johnson for Detroit. John Kuhn for Green Bay. Let's go right here to Houston. Billy Miller. Pat McAfee will be announcing draft picks for Indianapolis. Again, I don't know to what extent this is, but I do know that they will be there making announcements for these teams. Maybe first round, maybe beyond. I'm not sure. But this is all next week at the draft. Let's see what else we got. We got Paul Puzlesny coming home, making announcements for the Jaguars. Pat McAfee for the Colts. Let's go to Matt Millen from the Raiders. If you love football, this has to be driving you insane.
Just name after name after name of blast, especially like blast from the past. My God, some of these guys, we were able to see play. Others you weren't. We were just too young to see them, but like they were still fresh in our memory. They were still like talked about. Of like, oh man, you should have saw this guy play.
Also, let's look at Mike right here. Shane Merriman for the Chargers. Dwight Stevenson for the Dolphins. Brian O'Neill for the Vikings. Marquise Colston for the Saints.
He was one of my all-time favorite players who was not a Pittsburgh Steeler. Oh my God, he was a steal for a 7th round pick.
Absolutely. Curtis Martin for the Jets. Brian Westbrook for the Eagles. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, J.B. Bussey, of course, JPJ Jr., JPJ Sr., and John Stallworth will all be announcing picks for the Steelers. What else? We got right here, Andy Lee for the 49ers. Cliff Averill for the Seahawks. Rondé Barber will be in town announcing picks for Tampa Bay. I'm sorry. Jeffrey Simmons for the Titans, and Mark Rippon. Mark Rippon, like the Super Bowl winning quarterback for the Washington Redskins back in the day, will be announcing picks for the Washington Commanders.
Mark Rippon, like you said, man, blast from the past, all across the board. Yeah, I think John Stallworth is doing our 4th round pick, isn't he? I can't remember. Somber's saying 2nd round, but I thought he was doing like a 4th rounder because I thought that's where he was drafted or some shit like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know that. All I know is the information that's in
front
of me.
No, you're good too. Because I've seen like a lot of different information too, so I'm having trouble keeping it in track too. Because unlike you, I forgot to write stuff down.
Let's get back on the board, though. I don't want to miss anybody, guys, because we're less than a week. I feel the excitement within me. I know that everybody is feeling the excitement with them. They just can't wait. And again, if you were here in Pittsburgh and you do love your black and gold the whole way around, the week is amazing. Starting today with this series against the Rays, against again Batman. AJ Burnett will be throwing out the first pitch tonight. Paul Skeens, Cy Young bobbleheads tomorrow. After that game's over, the Flyers playoff series starts. And then after that, Mike, you have Pirates, Penguins, all the way up into the draft. So much going on. I don't even really know where to start, to be honest with you, Mike. So we're just going to, again, jump right in and get into some stuff, if you will. But you know what? Let me stay on the board. I don't want to miss out on anybody. And that's what it's all about. The board is what it is all about. So I also want to make one other big announcement. I did learn Mike Punxsutawney Phil will also be in the house for the NFL draft. Come on, you can't tell me this isn't big. If Punxsutawney Phil gets that, they drag that rat out of his box for a day more than they have to. I think that's a big event.
It is a big event. Yeah, I thought he'd still be in hiding after fucking us over by keeping spring and summer away from us.
I know. I hate that. I hate that rat. Let's get back on the board though here. A lot of interesting comments coming through, Mike. And again, I don't want to miss anybody today. I really don't. I don't want to miss anybody for the next week. This is just such a big time. And again, it gives us a little jump back into Steelers mode, if you will, because again, we talk Steelers all year, but sometimes, you got to kind of scrape for news. There's not going to be any shortage of news over this next week, guys. I could promise you that. And they're hitting hard on the board. So I'm going to do them some respect, Mike, and let's get all these messages. Yinzer Joe says, athletic. Tyrone, I can't wait to see 18 in preseason, see what's up with him.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to say also, my man Tyrone, hope all is well for you, sir. John, Big John Stud, middle name Mud, all the way from Las Vegas. He says, I'm tired of bitching about the Steelers offseason. I want to bitch about the Steelers regular season. And I couldn't agree with you more. I like the heart attacks from the season more than the waiting for the heart attacks of the offseason. But I do want to say, John, get a hold of Finch. He is out your way. Vegas and John, anybody else in the Vegas area, Finch is out there for the next week or so, looking to hang out and have some beers. Get a hold of him either by Discord or us here. We'll certainly get you set up. Let me go to Christophus. Fellas, no tight end until the 4th round. If we never have another tight end the rest of my life, I'll be fine after this experience we just had.
I want us to go tight end heavy. Trade up and get Kenyon Sadiq in the 1st round just to watch Ryan have an aneurysm. That's my draft day goal.
That is your goal.
Not to help the team. I just want to see Ryan have an aneurysm when he hears, with our 1st round selection, we select tight end.
I'll kill. I just
your head
hang
would
myself.
go up like people would be like, "What the fuck was that?" And you just hear you scream and your head blow up like scanners.
What is that hanging from the Roberto Clemente Bridge? Somber says, have foot quickness to match slot receivers. Somber also says, this follows it up by saying, sounds like J-Ram and free safety are happening based on that comment. Tyrone says, well, OFC, JPJ doing it only goats, touch the biggest stage. It's going to be big, baby. And so many, and like I said, like so much Western Pennsylvania connection, and it doesn't even scratch the surface of what's truly from Western PA. The Marinos and the Namaths and the Unituses and the Jim Kellys and the whole way down the list. I mean, these aren't even people that's going to be there, Mike. There's just so much talent from Western PA, and it's all going to shine and be on display on the nights of Thursday, Friday, and Saturday coming up in less than a week. Let's go right here to Cody. Cody says this Mike wants to invest everything in Drew Aller.
No.
How
No.
gross that is even to hear, but
No, that is disgusting.
Or Aaron J says, here we go, Steelers with the Rockets. Now I know I'm ready for the weekend. Yinzer Joe says, well, re-signing Samuel and having Eccles as depth helps that cornerback room for sure. Tortilla says, he says, Drew Dollars. Christopher says, wide receiver, offensive tackle, round 1 and 2, and defensive tackle, nose tackle in round 3. That's right around where I'm thinking as well. Christopher, anybody that's telling you they're going to be getting a quarterback early, I think is out of their minds. Let's continue up here a little bit. Somber Steel Loyal. What's up, dude? Always great seeing Steel Loyal on the terrible board. He says Jake Delhomme, Panthers legend, of course. Mike, they almost they kept within that Super Bowl. They could have won that Super Bowl against
they could have. My Kerry Collins I almost had my hero from Penn State, but I'm a Hoosiers fan. But Kerry Collins almost took him to the bowl.
Well, it was Jake Delhomme, but Kerry Collins.
Oh, no, Kerry Collins was with the Giants. My bad.
Yes.
That's because he started with.
Because we're not talking about Jake Delhomme or anything, but
shut up, dude.
Nice pickup.
Hey.
Just as I'm hearing more and more chatter about the Steelers looking to trade DK. You know what? I'm seeing that chatter, but I think that's all it is chatter. I think that it's rumors.
I think so too, especially after the Steelers said, they're not gonna not guarantee it, give him his guarantees. They're gonna pay out his guarantees. So that tells me they're willing to keep. They're not gonna trade him. They're gonna keep him around.
Let's go to Steel Loyal. DK getting traded. Steel Loyal said this year at least. Cody says Bella Anderson is announced in Miami. Let's look at Yinzer Joe here. Maybe they're looking to do it during the draft. Corey, don't drink that. Corey Beaver says this Tater will announce the smell of Garrett's jockstrap in the 7th.
Oh,
I like it. Not the smell of Garrett's.
I was gonna say, please clarify that. Thank you.
But I can see Tater doing that, of course. Steel Loyal says they're not. LOL. Yinzer Joe, or I'm sorry, yes, Yinzer Joe. I hope not. Don't want the same situation we had with GP. Boy, could you imagine if they pulled that one?
Yeah.
Pulled the rug out from underneath us and got rid of DK or something like that. Steel Loyal says if they're dealing anyone during the draft, it'll be Patrick Queen, Highsmith, or Herbig, I think. That's an interesting comment because again, I would hope they wouldn't trade Herbig, being the youngest, and I don't know. You have the aging guys, but anyway, Somber says this Stallworth announcing round 2 for us. JPJ and Joey Porter announcing round 3 together. Ty says 6 days. That's it, baby. Cody says I want some Bill Romanowski to announce someone and hit them with the captain and say no eye poke. Maybe spit on him a little bit too with Romanowski.
Right?
Steel Loyal says this Pittsburgh dad should announce one of our picks. Hey, you never know. There's going to be everybody is going to be there. A lot of people, almost up to 800,000 people. I'm hearing. Who knows? If he doesn't, I'm sure he'll do something funny. Let's go here to to Somber. You're an interesting creature, Cody. Yes, he is.
That's an understatement.
And Cody agrees. He says thanks. I think
like emphasis on creature.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Christopher says the only people the Steelers would trade are Patrick Queen, Keanu Benton, and Jalen Ramsey. End of days. What's up? Always great seeing end of days as well on the terrible board. Hey guys, we're getting close for only a few more days. And I can't believe it. Like we're going to be down to 3 days next time we see everybody. When we come back on Monday, we'll be down to 3 days. Next week we're going to be hitting hard and heavy. I know that RB he has had some stuff going on. He's going to be hard and heavy next week for the draft. As I said, everybody's going to be down there at some point. It looks like Chop will be there 3 days. Derpy will be there 2 days. Finch might be there 1 day, and again, I'm going to have to kind of go off of what everybody else is doing, but I will be there as well with Duquesne Pilsner. It's going to be a great time along with 800,000 other people. So, again, Derpy's coming up with all these ideas. He's like, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. And I got to be honest with you, they all sound fun, but when you're with 800,000 people, I don't think there's much that's fun.
Yeah, no, there's not. Not with 800,000 people. Now, maybe if like 80,000 people, you have room to breathe. With 800,000, it's going to be, like we've been saying, man, it's going to be a madhouse, but a fun madhouse.
Yeah, for sure. He's like, let's go to this tailgate with Cam Hayward. There's going to be all these Steelers. I'm thinking, bro, with all the people that's going to be there, you're going to be lucky to get anywhere near
right?
Anybody that you want to. So much, so much, and I can't even keep up with all the things I'm reading. It's going to be
It's
happening.
going to be an all-day event.
It really is for 3 whole days. Um, Cody, he says this. Nah, Mike wants to trade up for Drew Aller.
You know what? You know what, Cody? You caught me, man. I want us to trade up to pick number 2 and draft Drew Aller, baby. Because what quarterback has never failed out of being the second overall pick after the first quarterback taken? You know, Ryan Leaf is not coming to mind. I say, fuck them picks, trade them all, get second overalls, get Drew Aller. Let's go all in on the crazy.
All right, there you go, Mike. Going all in on the crazy. Let's go here to Steel Loyal. What's up, my man? Steel Loyal says definitely a chess piece. He's a good football player and happens to be a defensive back. They'll find out on Sundays. Graham on Jalen Ramsey. Just Learning. What's up, man? Always great seeing Just Learning. He says Rogers has a fake wife. He's pounding at it, man. We will certainly, anytime I think of his fake wife, I'll automatically correlate that to Just Learning because he does remind us often. Let's go right here to Tortilla. Tortilla Jackson says Dark Knight Rises is, and that's, is based on the draft. I think is what he's going there. 2 different messages. Indra Joe says, any more news on Savage? I have not heard any more news on Savage at all. Mm-hmm. No, nothing, Joe. Just Learning says Joey Bosa too. The Steelers would be awesome. Yeah, I mean, and Bosa's are tough. Yinzer Joe says this. What if we missed on Ty Simpson and they draft Drew Aller, Ryan? I hope they don't draft either one of them, to be honest with you, Joe. But you know what? If they do, they do. I don't know. Again, I always say and make a point to say I don't ever have a problem admitting I'm wrong. And you know what? If it happens and it works out for the best, I'm all aboard. So it's just I don't think that's the move this year, but it may be. Let's go to Steel Loyal. Says, what a pull, Mike. What a pull. Let's go here to Cody. Cody says, Steel Loyal was telling me Sawyer Robinson is the next Tom Brady instant Pro Bowler. Speaking of Sawyer, Jack Sawyer, Mike, he's going to be one of the people at Derpy's Cam Hayward.
You know that's why he wants to go.
Probably.
He saw Jack Sawyer and said, I need to go see my man crush.
It's disgusting. Steel Loyal says this, Mike. He says Sawyer Robinson is the next Willie Beeman. Mark Malone, my man, the legend here on the terrible board. Mark Malone says Robertson will turn into a good quarterback. Cody says, yep, that's what Steel Loyal thinks. What does Steel Loyal thinks Sawyer Robertson will be the next Beeman. Let's go right here to End of Days. My man, End of Days, great seeing you. Tom Brady was drafted in the 7th round. Was it the 7th?
6th.
I thought it was the 6th. Somber, hard and heavy, baby. Hard and heavy. That's what it's all about. Tortilla says Tom Brady was drafted in the 1,000,000th round. Let's go here to this Somber. Ayo, my man. Steeler Freak says Ryan soft, derpy, heavy. That sounds about right. I am fragile. Yinzer Joe says if we draft Vega and a wide receiver, I'll call it a success.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that in mind. I just want to say, Yinzer Joe, keep what Yinzer Joe said in mind. It may not some way, kind of in a distant way, correlate to the question of the day. So just kind of keep that in mind. Steel Loyal says, does that make Mike hard? I don't want to know. I don't want to know what Mike is.
Rock. I'm cutting diamonds over here. That's how hard I am, baby.
Tortilla, I'm taking the over on injuries this week. Mike's hard lemonade. There you go. Ty says Ryan going to throw Derpy in a trash can and put him by the curb. You know that's going to. I got to be honest with you. Dealing with Derpy, on an everyday basis isn't easy. Can you imagine again? Dealing with 800,000 people and Derpy. That's like dealing with 30,000 people. Or wait, 30,000 extra people. I'm trying to say is what the point I was making. Cody says, "See, knew it." Johnny says this. Those burps have pieces of donuts and coffee. Today it was Pop-Tarts and coffee. But close, very close, John. You know me. Mark Malone, I'm hoping and praying we draft Beck. I know you are. Mark Malone is already working on branding a Carson Beck sunglasses. Mike, they actually have the eyes right on the lens so that people on the outside will think that you're Carson Beck when they see you in these glasses.
You know what? I would wear those proudly, especially if we do end up drafting him and he turns into the face of the franchise. I would wear those sunglasses all day, every day here on the show.
I would love that. Let's go to Yinzer Joe. He says, I really don't want to waste a pick on a quarterback this year. I have a bad feeling. And you know what, Joe, and that's kind of where I'm at too. But if they end up getting somebody later for whatever reason, I don't know, to appease the whoever, I guess I'm okay with it, because at the end of the day, once you get to a certain point, guys are hit or miss anyway, and a lot of people just don't make the team. So whatever. But you know what? There's interesting scoop that we did get that may kind of answer that for us a little bit, Joe. Just give me a second on that. Tyrone says this, Mark, I'm glad you're not the GM. Tortilla, the burps are pay advertisement by Duquesne Pilsner. Let's go right here. Christopher, if Aaron Rodgers does not sign this week, Rooney has egg on his face. That's like the Kabuli predictions, Mike. He predicts, and this is just in, Kabuli predicts the Steelers are going to make a draft pick in the next 7 to 14 days. So there you go. You got it from the best in Pittsburgh right there.
Right there, right on the money.
Let's go to Mark Malone. If we draft Cooper and Dunker, I'll call it a success. And you got to get that Corleone in there also, Mark. I don't know if you get that trifecta, you could get the trifecta, if you will, the hat trick. There's your Dunker. Steel Loyal says those glasses got to be huge. They're not really huge. They're just really they're just kind of off shape, and you have one lens down here, one lens up here. You know the look. John says this Beck has those Jesus follow the wide receiver wherever you go. Let's go right here to Just Learning. Just Learning says my brother-in-law, who is a business license inspector, closed the Chinese massage parlor I went to. Darn it, that is bullshit.
Wow. That, like, you have to instantly disown that brother-in-law.
Yeah, I mean, what is this brother-in-law? Is this maybe your sister's husband, or is this your wife's brother? I think that makes all the difference.
Either way, done. You got to get rid of him. That's like a line you do not cross. And
Cody says Mike will die on the hill. He wants to waste a pick on Drew Aller. No talking anything.
You know what? You've talked me into it, Cody. Drew Aller in the first round, trading up to pick number 2.
Wife's brother. So let me think. Wife's brother. I mean that really. I guess. I mean, if it was. Yeah, I don't know. Still sucks. Somber says Jack Strand in round 9. Jack Stan Jimmy. That is what Steel Loyal says. End of days, I predict the Steelers will draft a quarterback in the first round. Woo! That will put us behind the 8 ball. You know, all the speculation, because you got to get some of the best offensive linemen, and you got to get yourself a receiver. So again, if that would happen, I would be very surprised. I'm just going to say that. But you know what? For your sake, I hope you're right. Corey, don't drink that. Don't trust Kabuli. He can't decide on dinner, so he eats everything. He changes his first round pick daily. And I do want to say, go check out Corey Beavers if you are into conspiracy theories. Go check out Corey on Don't Drink That right here on YouTube. Plenty of content. It got a little bit of everything for you. Get over and check out Corey. Let's go to Just Learning. Bick has frog eyes. He sure does have frog eyes. Christopher says if we draft any quarterback in this draft, Mason Rudolph is bye-bye. We're going to get to that in just 1 second here. Also, Cody says, knew it. End of day says Drew Aller, first round. Yes. Oh, guy, with these comments. Big John Stud says this Kabuli has cottage cheese under his chins.
Oh, I thought he was going to say cottage cheese under his balls.
Tortilla, the Big Bang was real, and it took place on the Carson Beck's forehead. And then Somber, he replies to John saying between chin 3 and 4 is his late night snack. Just a moment, Mike. Just handle things for just a second. I'm gonna pull up this information. Matter of fact, just chill for 1 second. I think that I have it right here.
Okay.
This is what RB had sent us this morning. We were talking before the show a little bit, Mike, and he says he was told this. Okay, so this is some of the scoop that he's been digging up. He was saying this. He said, I'm being told that Rodgers could be a 1 year, $18.5 million base with incentives up to $26 million. Again, RB's contacts are like the Illuminati. I don't know. He goes somewhere and he comes back enlightened, like maybe Moses to the top of the mountain. However he does it, but keep those numbers in your mind. That was by way of our RB, and he follows that up by saying this morning, Mike. He says teams have been called about Mason Rudolph, and we have actually listened to them. The Jets, the Jaguars, Dolphins, and Chargers. The most being offered is a fifth round pick, of course. Mike, if any of those teams want to give us a fifth round, do you send Mason Rudolph down the road? And of course, that plays into if other things happen as well in the draft. It would seem to me, Mike, fifth round pick for Mason Rudolph.
Oh, that's more than fair. That's a nice, return on the investment of Mason Rudolph, former third round pick. He was brought in to be a backup quarterback, was bounced down to Tennessee, proved he could not be a starting quarterback, came back to being a backup quarterback for a year here, and get him for a fifth round pick. I will take that any day, all day, every day. And because now you can use one of your picks for one of these quarterbacks. If you want to snag one in the fourth round, you can grab one. I hate to say a third round pick, but maybe if one of them sitting there at pick 99, go ahead and do it. If you're feeling froggy, now you can have that extra ammunition, depending if that fifth round's this year, next year, whatever. Yeah, go ahead. Now you can move Mason, or you move them in. You have a spot now for another developmental quarterback. It would be okay at that point. It would be a smart thing to do. I don't want a quarterback in the third round, but usually you have to draft a quarterback around earlier just because the premium on the position, you don't want to miss out on them. But go ahead and do it. I'm all for it. I like Mason as a backup, but might as well have Will Howard as your backup. If you're talking that highly of him and you think he can be a guy, go ahead. And if you think that guy you're going to get is going to eventually be the backup to Will Howard or push him for starting time, go ahead and do it.
And you got to think too, Mike, you got to put the age into consideration as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
he's like, 29, 30?
He's going to be what he is at this point, and I don't think, you know what I mean? So, again, I think going with the younger gun is the ideal idea at the end of the day. But, again, we have to see. We still have to hear from Mr. Rodgers, if you will. Let's jump back on the board here, though. Mike, I'm going to go right here to Yinzer Joe, where he says, we draft the quarterback in the first round. I think there'll be a riot in Pittsburgh. It won't be pretty. Look out, Roger Goodell. He gets booed anyway, so look out. Still loyal, deal or no deal. Lift up the chin flap. Tyrone says, all this quarterback talk, y'all gonna jinx us. Shaking my head. Mark Malone says, need a third for Magnum. Tyrone, I've been said 20 or over for A-Rod. Also, right here, Still Loyal says, laugh my ass off if we get a fifth round pick for Mason when we only spent a sixth on Michael Pittman. Let's go right here to Somber. Getting anything in return for Mason is a win. Yeah, I agree. Corey Don't Drink That said he's got more chins than a Chinese phone book. Of course, Mark Trevoli. He sure does. Let's go right here, Yinzer Joe. He says, how are they going to send Rudolph away for a pick when they're not going to make 12 picks anyway? Well, they could also turn that around and package it elsewhere. Again, setting themselves up maybe for next year or
make that pick a next year type pick.
I think they're going to be very active this year, Mike. Again, 12 picks, you're going to be active if you don't want to go out and get 12 guys, especially once you get to the 6th, 7th round. Mm-hmm. There's the scraps left. These guys are going to be getting picked, signed up. They're with the group of people that's going to be getting signed up the following day as undrafted free agents, Mike. Some of these people, why are you spending your draft picks on them? I think they package deals up together because they're going to be very active on those 3 days and maybe possibly leading up to those 3 days, Mike. I think that the Steelers are going to be very active this year in Pittsburgh, and I think that might be a goal of theirs too, because this should end, I think, will be a very special draft.
I think so too. Like, I would love to use picks, 21 through 99 on 5 players, but I can see them using 2 of those thirds to move up within the 1st and 2nd round if they have to get guys that they want. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if they're going to try and do some pick swaps with either Miami or Dallas to leapfrog the Ravens to get either Makai Lemon or Vega. Those seem to be like the two guys that make the most sense for Pittsburgh. And if you want to get either of them, you're going to have to move up. We can't just sit there and wait. So it wouldn't surprise me if at least one third rounder is used to move up to get one of those two guys, which I think would be a smart move, because if you go guard round one, you can get a really good receiver in round two. And if you do it the opposite, you can get the opposite position staying in the same spot. So I think it's going to be imperative to move up in the first round. And if you use one of those thirds, might as well see if you can get a fifth round back for Mason Rudolph in this year, if you want to use that pick.
End of day says trade Rudolph. Good idea. Get it one more draft pick. John says this Mason jar. He functions but isn't going to get any sexier. End of days go Steelers. That's at the end of the day. That's what it's all about. End of days. Tyrone says I've been hearing 21 PQ third for pick 12 to Dallas. You know what? There's been so much rumors this offseason about Dallas and PQ. I don't know how. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's so much. Maybe it's been mentioned so much, Mike, that maybe there is something about it. But again, I know that Dallas has been peaking at every damn defender in the league, Mike, since this season's been over.
Yeah, with that contract being due and him getting the new agent, and all reports indicating that he might be his last year in Pittsburgh. Why not see if you can get something for him? But I don't know. Because if you trade him now you got a hole to fill. But I know they have been looking at linebackers in this process, so it's not like they're not going to try and fill that spot anyway. So I don't know if I hate creating a hole, but if they're already willing to draft his replacement, might as well do it if you think you're going to get yourself a stud in the first round.
For sure. Let's go right here to Yinzer Joe. If they can trade Rudolph for a third and use that pick to move up, that would make sense. Mark Malone, screw trading up in the first. Mark Malone says stat put and Nab Cooper or Concepcion. Ty, Yinzer Joe Mason, not even with a seventh. Yinzer Joe Mason, not even with the seventh. Steeler Freak says fantasy GMs. Let's see, guys. Let's get into some more stuff here. I do want to talk about some scoop that we did get over the past couple of days regarding some players. Mike, the Steelers wanted to bring in a fifth quarterback. They did want to bring in a fifth quarterback for the pre-draft visits. They've tried a couple of times talking about Nuss from LSU. For whatever reason, that visit did not happen out of the 30. Nussmeier, Mike, is somebody that they wanted to see and they wanted to talk to, but they just didn't get a chance to talk to him.
I'm glad. He's definitely on my no draft list. I don't want anything to do with Nussmeier. I'm glad the universe prevented that from happening.
The universe.
It's bad enough. We want to have Carson Becker, Drew Aller.
Now that the opinion is good, Mike, but I want to know why. Tell me what it is about Nuss that is why you just do not want him. I think that's what people want.
He really, really, really underperformed on an LSU team. Everyone thought that he should be doing well on. You watch him play, and it leaves a lot to be desired. I had high hopes for him. He was one of my guys early on after last draft that he can be something, but I just fell out of love with him.
And you've heard from the get-go, Mike, there was always that connection between Coach McCarthy and Nuss. So it's surprising that they at least didn't get the visit in.
Yeah. I thought his arm would be a lot better than what it was, and it wasn't. I just fell out of love with him.
That's all right. Hey, that's all right.
Hey, and that's what happens in sports, man. You see someone that because like you're trying to project where these guys are going to be, not from 5 years from now, but like from 1 year to the next, and then you don't see that development, then that to me that's wants me to put the brakes on. Okay, what are they actually going to do once they get to the pros? They stop developing in college. Okay, is that them? Is it the system? Is it the coaching staff? The poor talent around them, or is it that just, they were what they are, and they finally got exposed for it, because once they lost the talent around them, they weren't able to do what they needed to do. And for me, I felt like that was with Nussmeier. Like, he kind of reached his full peak. He is what he is at this point. There's not going to get anything out of him anymore.
Tortilla says Watt and Rudolph for a third. Tyrone says, good news, Steelers didn't attend the Tyson workout. Tyrone says, Tortilla, I'm disappointed in you. Mark Malone says, Nussmeier has been doing the Kenny Pickett hand exercises to increase his size. Tortilla says, Will Howard and JPJ for 25th sevens. 25 sevens. What? Ronald, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Ronald Albright on the board. He says, gentlemen, hello. I still believe, if anything, the Steelers are staying at 21 and will draft the best remaining offensive lineman, Proctor, etc. Then in the second round and third, they will dress wide receiver, inside linebacker, and DB. I think that that's probably the best route to go. They got to shore up that line. You're not going to do much of anything. I mean, getting excited about this guy, that guy, or the other guy is really fun, and maybe a quarterback that is never going to play here. But the most important thing is getting that line shored up, because that is one thing that's guaranteed. You're going to need a line week in, week out. Second, third string quarterback who may or may not be any good is just, in my mind, kind of crazy at this point. But again, open to all opinions here on the show. Let's scoot along here too. But I do want to say welcome, Ronald. Always great seeing you, brother. Let's go to this. Yinzer Joe says, at Ty, we know Rudolph isn't worth a bag of popcorn, but that doesn't mean Con can't con a team. That's true. That's true, Joe. Mark Malone, Beck has 10-inch hands, and according to the Abella Danger, that's not the only 10 inches he's packing.
Wow.
Hey, now. Tyrone says, true, Yinzer Joe. That be too funny. Christophus says, the whole team arrived a week ago. Did you see anyone get bigger and stronger? Especially the D-line players are allowed to get better. Christophus says this, did you Yinzer see? Ty says this, 12 picks in the Berg. I see a splash. Somber says Proctor ain't shoring shit up. LOL. That's funny. Also, Tortilla says this, trade Rudolph for a bathroom stall. We do need bathroom stalls, Mike.
We do. We need them aplenty.
That could be a possibility. We could trade Rudolph for a bathroom stall.
I'm all for it.
I know visiting teams would be excited. A few things I do want to get into, Mike, talking about this quarterback. And, I've noticed that the Ty Simpson talk has kind of dissipated a little bit, and I'm glad, because I just, and no circumstances could see, I could figure out what taking him in the first round would accomplish. For anything, Mike, these are some things about Ty Simpson. And let's see, last year, Mike, he had 11 interceptions. He lost 6 fumbles versus Indiana in the playoffs. He didn't play well. He threw for 67 total yards, left the game early with a fractured rib injury. I mean, what is it about this guy that anybody is in love with? There's just nothing that I'm reading that is, and he played very limited amount of games. What's the love affair with Ty Simpson?
I do not know, to be honest with you. I was not a fan of him at all last college season, because every time I watched him play, I just was not impressed. But, you always need that number 2 guy, that quarterback to compete with the consensus number 1 quarterback. And he's head and shoulders. I don't know, head and shoulders above the rest, but he's a step above, your Drew Allers, your Carson Becks, and potential and intrigue and traits that evaluators and coaches look for. But I just was not a fan of Ty Simpson, because every time I watched him play, I was like, this guy is the one people are clamoring as to being a legit starting NFL quarterback. I just don't see it. I've been wrong in the past, but me personally, I want nothing to do with Ty Simpson, because I'm still trying to figure it out 6 days before the draft of why teams want to draft him.
Well, Mel Kiper, he agrees with you, Mike. Mel Kiper, he says he
heard. Now I might change my opinion.
Like he said, he heard no drafting of Ty Simpson. That's what he heard. So wherever he heard that, I don't know. So that is at least some official word that is flying around the atmosphere, Mike. And finally, as far as Ty Simpson goes, A Browns beat writer. That's right, from Cleveland. A Browns beat writer is in favor of the Cleveland Browns drafting Ty Simpson, Mike, at 6 overall. This is why Cleveland is what Cleveland is. They just don't get it. They don't get it.
Like at 6th overall, Ty Simpson. No, you can get some. Oh my God, no!
This is what Cleveland does, Mike.
No,
they grab a first round quarterback every year. They've been doing it for about a century now.
No, because they spend a decent amount of their time, like, rebuilding that offensive line, and at 6th overall, you can probably get one of the two top tackles all the top tackles in the draft sitting right there, and then probably all the wide receivers that you would need if you favor Tate over Lemon. You would have those two right there. They would have so many options to actually build around whichever quarterback they want to build around.
I hope, please.
It makes no sense.
Please.
Because if I was a Browns fan, first of all, kill me, but an intelligent Browns fan, and my team was saying, "Hey, we want one of these young quarterbacks who are on our roster."
To be honest, Mike, I've never met an intelligent Browns fan.
I know. It's oxymoron, but I would be screaming draft a wide receiver or a lineman at 6 to help out one of your two young quarterbacks who might be your franchise guy in your eyes. Don't go draft another one who's not that much better than those two. I just the way they run things up there and the way their fans and the media think is just I get frustrated with the Pittsburgh media, but oh my God, I'm glad I don't have to deal with Browns media because they're dumber than a box of rocks.
You're right. It's
you don't take him at 6, man. You draft one of the linemen or a wide receiver and you move the fuck on with your day.
Yeah, I mean, we got
it's two of the safest picks right there. Offensive lineman or a wide receiver out of this draft class.
So Somber says trade Rudolph for a urinal cake.
There's a Mark Caboli joke in there about a urinal cake. I lost it. I'm sorry.
Tortilla says I can talk about Ty Simpson if you want. Let's go right here to Ty. Says no. Cody says Mike can see the circumstances of getting Drew Aller in the first at 21. Let's go right here to Steel Loyal. Steel Loyal says the Texans and All-Pro edge Will Anderson Jr. just agreed on a blockbuster 3-year, $150 million extension with $134 million guaranteed to make him the highest NFL paid non-quarterback ever. Because I mean, it changes all the time. Wasn't Watt just at the top of that list and somebody else? Yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
Christopher says this. I heard they added more bathrooms for the draft crowd. You know what they did there? Again, that's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. John says this is the time of year teams get quarterback desperate, and that's what I'm saying. Maybe some of these other teams that need quarterbacks, they're going to go and draft some of these quarterbacks this year that aren't that good, and then they'll kind of be still in the feeling it out stage. Maybe next year, come draft time, when you have some bigger names, and maybe maybe we could shimmy our way into a good position to grab one of those quarterbacks. Steel Loyal says, yeah, what's up?
I had a thought there and I lost it. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I lost my thought. I pulled a derpy.
Just take a moment, think about it. I want you to think about it.
Piggyback off what you're saying about the quarterbacks. Yeah,
you didn't think about it. You just didn't want to say it.
Let those teams draft, quarterbacks early and often. And like you said, we'll be sitting there in a better position next year because these teams are like, oh man, do we want to get a quarterback in the first round when we drafted one in the third?
Exactly.
Yeah, so it might work out in our favor, waiting to get drafting the guy till the 4th or 5th round.
Well, I'm sure that the Browns are probably going to pick somebody in the first round next year too. I mean, so you got to put that into consideration. But I couldn't agree more, Mike. I think that's a good way to look at it. Let's go right here to Steele says new highest paid edge in the league. Cody says wasn't a fan of Ty Simpson, but watched Drew Aller all year.
Ugh. Hey. I only had to watch Drew Aller for a handful of games.
Ty says, holy fuck, Anderson got the bag. Steel Loyal says $50 million a year, bro. It's insane. Scoot up just a bit here. Insane's what Steel Loyal says. Mark Malone. It wouldn't surprise me if Cleveland did that. You know what? It wouldn't surprise me either. You could listen. You could do something to improve your team, or you could draft another quarterback in the first round. What do you think Cleveland is going to do? I mean, what does the history tell you that Cleveland is going to do? They're going to draft another quarterback in the first round.
Like, you remember when they drafted Johnny Manziel, the owner's like, yeah, I was walking down the street and the homeless guy told me, you got to draft Johnny Manziel.
I don't remember, but it don't surprise me.
And that was like the greatest draft story I've ever heard in my life. And he was proud to tell that story. And they drafted Johnny Manziel.
That sounds right. It sounds right to me. Let's go right here. Drew Aller or Carson Beck in the fourth round is what Christophus is saying. Ronald says, well, in the first 6 games or so last season, Ty was the best college quarterback, even over Mendoza. And Simpson does have a very good NFL arm, but to me, he's no better of an option than the other QBs. Let's go here to Steeler Freak John. John says this: the other owners pay the Browns for their yearly fuck ups because the other 31 teams fans can't bitch too much. Ronald says this: I say Green is in late 4th or Sawyer Robinson in the late 6th. Possibilities.
They met with at least Green, I think.
Yes, I think they did too. Let's go right here to Tortilla. Walk in your trap, take over Watt's bag. Something about Watt I just wanted to get out there as we're talking about him just briefly, Mike. TJ Watt, get this. You know, these people always, you know, what they're putting into their bodies constantly. And remember, James Harrison was putting like $500,000 in his body every so often.
Yeah.
TJ Watt, guys, TJ Watt eats 7,000 to 8,000 calories a day just to be where he needs to be for his body. Up to 8,000 calories a day. But lucky he works out, Mike, and continues to exercise, because if you didn't, that could be a big, big problem.
Yeah. He'd be looking like Casey Hampton, but that's insane. Like, my God.
8,000 calories a day.
That's fucking crazy.
Wonder what the amount of, you know, the amount of grams of protein the guy, you know, because they always, I don't know. It always fascinates me. The amount that these people eat. And as a matter of fact, as I said, James Harrison was always known to be spending up to $500,000 and within a certain period of time that he puts in his body. So again, you wonder why they all get so small once they're out of football for a while. But you know, let's go right here. He says, Somber says Browns drafting Pavia in the first.
Now that is a Browns move right there.
Tortilla says, I told my boss I wanted the Steelers to draft Aller, and he fired me. He's a 49ers fan. Let's go right here. He's John, the Steeler Freak. He says the cable contracts make the insane player contracts possible. We end up paying for it. Ron Albright says, I remember a lot of fans wanted him in last year's draft. So what about Rudolph in a 4th to Seattle for Jalen Milroe? I'm not a big fan of Jalen Milroe, but
no,
I think some fans would eat that up. Ty says, I remember you was high on Simpson, had to wake up from the 2-year coma. Steel Loyal says Seattle ain't getting rid of Milroe, and that's fine. I'm actually cool with that. Somber, nobody wants Milroe. Steel Loyal says he's Justin Fields 2.0. Yinzer Joe, Milroe has a very strong arm. He can throw deep, but can't throw a 5-yard slant to save his life. That's all we need, is somebody who has a quirky problem. You know, something that drives us nuts from week to week. Christopher says, I checked out the pictures on Steelers website. Derek Harmon and Keanu Benton look like monsters. Those boys both gained weight. I haven't noticed, Christopher. I'm gonna have to look. He did bring that up earlier in a message. I will definitely look at the guys. I didn't notice this though. Tortilla says this: 8,000 calories a day keeps the sack away. Somber says a team might sign him as a running back. Right here. Steel Loyal says Keanu can gain all the weight. He still shouldn't be playing nose. Mark Malone, hell, I could drink 2,000 calories in beer a day pretty easy. John says Derpy's KFC 16-piece bucket original crispy has 4,000 calories. Mike, and how he eats multiple buckets of chicken, I can imagine. Derpy
probably like while naked too.
Tortilla still high on Ty motion. Ty says no, you're just high. Guys, also, Mike, I know a lot of people really think it's a good idea to grab this guard from Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not the only ones, Mike. The Ravens GM was seen gushing over loan from Penn State. Mike, are we gonna have any problems in the first round? And I understand this is where a lot of the smoke screens and everything that we see all off season and leading up to the draft and all the draft coverage. But how many do you see us running into any issues in the first round trying to get it who it is that we want to get? Again, a loan from Penn State is, in my opinion, a pretty high target, Mike. I mean, you want to get this guy. How much are you battling teams like the Ravens and the Browns? Again, the Browns over here talking about drafting Ty Simpson because we talked about drafting Ty Simpson. Now you have the Ravens over here talking about the guard. Mike, what kind of problems are we going to run into in the first round, and how's that going to affect possible trade ups, trade downs, anything of that nature?
It's going to be a tough one if we sit and wait for him, or even like a receiver we like, because at 14, literally, like the Ravens, some of their biggest needs are offensive lineman and wide receiver. So the most logical thing to do would be to leapfrog them. And to do that, we'd have to move up, at least maybe 10 spots, 9 spots to go jump 9 spots to land at 12 with Dallas, 10 spots up to with Miami. And Miami, their GM said they're looking to trade back. They want right now. They're in a building phase, and he said, "Hey, we would rather have two good guys instead of one really good guy." So if I'm Omar Khan, I'm having them ready once they are on the board or getting close to being picked. Miami's pick coming up at 11. I am calling them. Be like, oh, what's it going to take to make this work? That's why you might have to give up one of those third round picks if you really, really want Vega, and you think that this is going to help your line and help whoever your quarterback's going to be, and then by an extension help all your skill players. You're going to have to pay a premium to get up there. It's going to be at least a first and a third, maybe a seventh as a sweetener. We got plenty of 7th round picks. Fine, fuck it, throw 1 or 2 of those in there. But I'm calling Miami, or I'm calling Dallas. Hey, you still interested in PQ? You interested in Highsmith?
In Dallas, Mike, I think is ideal because they're just gushing over PQ, and they've expressed so much interest in him. So I mean, that could easily be a situation.
Like those are the 2 spots you're gonna, the 2 teams that make the most sense to call to move up to. Because Cincy at 10, they need offensive line help, but they need help everywhere else too. So then, do you want to go up to 9? With Kansas City, then now you're gonna have to give up a lot of shit to get up into that portion of the draft, because KC has a lot of needs too, and I don't think they want to drop all the way down to 21. So you're hoping if Vega makes it past Cincinnati, you're immediately calling Miami. Like, I might just call Miami anyway and see if I can get that 11 pick, and then whoever gets picked above you, and you just get whoever's there, because now you put yourself in a really good spot. You leapfrog Baltimore. You're going to take one of the guys that they really want. And like the teams, after Baltimore coming to you, there's a couple teams that need offensive lineman help and wide receiver help. So move up, get your guy. You have the ammunition. You're going to do it for a quarterback anyway. Might as well do it for a player you really love.
Let's go right here, Mike, to I want to say also good afternoon to Richard, my man, Richard Jankowski on the board. Always great seeing Richard. Richard says this. He says that Mark Malone started drinking early today. I think that maybe was it the drinking and then the huffing of the paint, or was it the huffing of the paint and then the drinking? I always forget with Mark. It's hard to say. Always great seeing you, my man, Richard. Always great seeing you. Hope things are going well. Tyrone says, damn, that sounds good, KFC. You know what? I was thinking the same exact thing. When he's talking about Derpy's buckets of chicken, I just start thinking, oh, yeah, it sounds really good. Yinzer Joe says Derpy better calorie up if he's going to get on the team. Derpy could be a nose guard. Mike, he's low to the ground. He's got that center of gravity, like that you like to see. He's close. He's close to Snacks Hampton, big Snacks Hampton.
He is close. He is close. He might have to add a little bit of muscle though.
A little.
Yeah. I'm trying to be generous here. Okay?
All right. It's Friday. What the hell? Let's go right here to Tortilla. Steeler fans hate Ty Simpson more than they hate losing. And again, like some of these things that are going to be nice to get behind us, some of these storylines, some things that you just constantly hear and you've heard in this offseason leading up to the draft, the Ty Simpsons, the Nussmeyers. Yeah. I mean, it's nice when it's all going to be over just to stop hearing all that, getting our people, knowing who they are, finding what our draft picks are going to be, figuring out how they're all going to work into place. It's all coming, guys. Can you believe it? 6 days away. Like, we're going to be counting on one hand when we come back again on Monday.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait.
Steel Loyal says Bojangles better than KFC. Right here, Mark Malone says, yeah, I can see Derpy sitting in bed eating KFC. Chicken grease everywhere, all over his hand. Like that episode of Seinfeld, he's wiping his mouth with the blankets, the chicken grease off his mouth. Let's go to Yinzer Joe. You were right about that at Tortilla. It seems like it. It sure seems like it. Tortilla says, seriously, they'd rather hit a pothole than even think about drafting him. That's a pretty good message. That could be game ball right there, Tortilla. Just because it hits so close to home. And, Tortilla's calling, he's calling the shots all the way from Sacramento. And to make an educated comment like that, Mike, because potholes, again, are part of our life.
That's an everyday occurrence here.
Exactly. Good one. That's a good one. Gushing over clitoris. Gushing over clitoris is what John is saying. And John, I hope you are doing better, because I know that Terry Bongshaw last week might have had a little injury. I didn't know if Terry Hookah ready, if you had him ready to back up
Terry
Bongshaw or not. But I certainly thought of you, John. I certainly thought of you. And John is thinking about clitoris. Let's move forward here to Steel Loyal. Steel Loyal says, at least potholes have character. Let's go right here. Yinzer Joe, yep, I absolutely don't want any quarterback this year. Run with Rodgers or Howard, then draft a quarterback. That's right where I'm at, Joe. That's where I've been at for a while. Let's go right here to Steel Loyal. Saw one shaped like the state of Virginia the other day. Not only this shaped like Virginia, like potholes here are the size of Virginia. Let's go right here.
Yes, they are.
Tortilla says Shador has character that don't make a good quarterback. Somber says they need camp body regardless. Let's go right here to seventh rounder or a undrafted free agent is what Somber's saying. Also, Steel Loyal saying Shador plays a character he doesn't have any. Christopher says this. He says, trust me, the Browns would draft Drew Aller just to spit. I agree. I think that they would too. Or if Vega falls to them, they will pick him. They have this constant battle with us in their own minds. They really do. You forget about the Browns, and then you run into a Browns fan one day, and you're like, oh, the Steelers, the Steelers, the Steelers, we got to get this guy before this. Bro, we don't even think about you. We don't even think about the Browns. I mean, come on. You just automatically assume they're going to get 3 to 5 wins and be in the basement. That's just what it is. Until they prove otherwise, besides doing it one time in 40 years, there's no reason to think of the Browns. That's what's so funny. Well, let's steal this guy from the. Who cares what you do? Who cares? You're failures.
Classic little brothers.
They really are. They really are the little brothers of the division. The little annoying brother. Let's go right here. Steeler Freak says the defensive line gave up way too much rushing yards. The left side of the offensive line isn't fixed. Put both to bed this year. Finally, I couldn't agree more, John. You have to fix these problems this year, and then you can start realistically worrying about your quarterback situation. I think you get the team built, and again, you get one of these youngsters next year, Mike. It could be the guy of the future, or we could go after Ty Simpson, put our money on him. try it out, like him, he'd not be the guy, be set back another 4 years. It's very tough, Mike. Again,
Yeah.
a bad move could set you back quite a way. So
Yeah.
again, I want them to treat this quarterback situation like it's the most important decision on earth.
It is, and they should, because my God, like you said, one bad pick at quarterback can set you back for years, and you don't want that. For all the hard work they've been doing, reshaping this team, reshaping this roster, building it to make it quarterback proof, you don't have to get your perfect guy, but you have to get someone that you are like confident that can run your offense and get you to where you want to go. If you don't think someone is that guy, don't draft him. Don't draft a quarterback to say, "Hey, we drafted a quarterback. We had a position in need, so we got him." You wouldn't do that at let's say a left tackle. Oh, we need a left tackle. We're gonna go get this guy. Yeah, he has like an 8th round grade on him, but we're gonna get him in the first because we need a left tackle. What? Why apply? You wouldn't do that for any other position. Why do teams apply that logic to quarterback? It blows my mind. That's how you fuck up your team. That's how you set yourself back years. It's just by going, we need a guy, we're going to go get a guy. Well, he doesn't fit what you want to do. He doesn't have pro tools to be an elite quarterback or be an above average quarterback to get you where you want to be. Why waste a pick on that guy? It makes no sense to me. Never has, never will. And I will never be talked off of this, out of that position of not wanting to draft a quarterback if I don't think he's a good quarterback. If I'm a GM, I'm not drafting the guy just because, we need one, let's get him. And to me, that's stupid. It's stupid.
All right, look at it this way. Let's say you get somebody and it doesn't work, and then you're back in the process of, let's figure out which draft has the best quarterbacks. So now you kick the can down the road again. Now you got another year tacked on, another 2 years tacked on. You get 2 years down the road, you think, oh, you know what? None of these guys. So again, it's something that, like I said, you want them to focus like it's the biggest issue, the biggest situation at hand, because it's going to play a huge part of what your football team does over these next 5, 7, 10 years, depending. So again, I want them to treat this like it's a very important thing, and I think they will, Mike. And also, I think it falls into a good time coming with the offensive-minded head coach. Maybe it'll be treated a little differently, and maybe we could successfully find the quarterback, if you will, sometime soon.
And Seattle proved it last year. You don't have to be the team that drafts that quarterback to win a Super Bowl. You can, identify a guy that's, hasn't fared well throughout the NFL, but has the traits. And hey, once we get him into our system, we know he can do well. You sign him as a free agent because you have your team built around it, and you can go and run with it. Because Minnesota was stupid for letting, oh my God, Sam Darnold leave. He was their guy. They let him leave, and Seattle was smart going getting him. There's nothing that can prevent the Steelers from doing that other than their own organizational philosophy. They need to get away from that to be willing to take chances on younger quarterbacks that are free agents that have really good potential and show they can play at a high level in the NFL. Don't be afraid to spend the money on them if that's what's going to take to get you a championship.
Absolutely. Let's get back on the board here. Still Loyal says this. He says, Rappaport, Cardinals quarterback Jacoby Brissett not attending phase 1 of the offseason program after asking for an extension that pays him as the starter. Mike, this is another team that I hear is having a lot of interest in Ty Simpson and young quarterback. So
yeah, they brought him in for a visit.
Yes.
So, man,
we didn't even get that visit.
No, but the Cardinals have a lot of needs too. But
you think?
Now, if you want to take, if I'm a Cardinals fan, you want to take, if my team wants to take Ty Simpson in the first round, trade the fuck down and get.
Well, let me tell you. Let me just make this make sense. Mike, you've seen us play in Arizona. Arizona don't have fans. You've seen the amount of Steelers fans.
True, I know, right?
How many people have you ran into your life that's ever admitted to being a Cardinals fan? I can't say very many.
Yeah. Oh my God.
If you're in Arizona, you tend to love Pittsburgh for whatever reason. We do know that.
Yep.
Let's get back on the board, Mike. I don't want to get too far behind. We still have a lot of things to get into. Let's go right here. What's that?
We got RB hopping on.
Yeah, hop on, bro. Let's go right here. Somber says, and they fuck themselves by trying to fuck us. Not drafting defense would be hilarious. That's that hits a hook, line, and sinker right there. It's what they do. It is what they do. What's RB? What's up, RB? Always great seeing you, brother. How you doing today?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, man? Always great seeing RB. The draft, brother, is just 6 days away. I know that you are into it. I know that Chop's into it. You guys, full of information about all these prospects. Right now, let me ask you this, RB, and you can't really answer this because you just don't know who's going to be available, who's going to be there, who's not going to be there. But just let me ask you right off the top, RB, if the draft was today and Pittsburgh was getting ready to take their first draft pick or even trade for that matter, what's your prediction? Again, it could be anything. But what does RB think is going to go down in the first round for the Pittsburgh Steelers in 6 days? Oh, I think RB might have. Oh.
I'm almost as certain that I think it's going to either be Vega or Fano, depending on if they're. I think we're going to jump on Fano, and then Fano's going to have that flexibility to where you tackle or guard later, because Fano can play level.
You know what? The more and more I'm hearing about Fano, the more and more I'm liking the idea of Fano. And I always say, I'm for no other reason but besides the obvious facts. Anytime you see somebody from that particular culture, that bloodline, Mike, they're always good football players. How many times have you ever seen a guy that has big bushy hair coming out of the back of their football helmets be a bad football player?
Right. It's few and far between. And like RB was saying, like with Fano, he has that flexibility to where he can play inside or outside. And that might be what tips the scales, so to speak, if they're tossing up between the two, like, hey, we're not really sold on left tackle. So let's get Fano because, he can play left tackle if Dylan Cook isn't up to snuff. And we got Brock, at least we know we got Brock Hoffman and Spencer Anderson to battle it out in the inside. Or they're going to, hey, Dylan Cook lit it up and these two guys on the inside aren't doing that well. Okay, we'll kick Fano inside. So he gives you a little bit more flexibility than Vega does. But I wouldn't be opposed to either. I have my biases because, I watched Vega play a lot the past couple of years. I really like what I saw, but I wouldn't be opposed to either of them.
I think Vega right now is probably the better player right now as we speak. I think Fano has a bigger upside though. Fano's a much more athletic guy than Vega is. Vega's a little bit stronger, but to me, the athletic always gives you a little bit more leeway and playing time. As you get further down your career, your skills aren't going to diminish as much with that extra athleticism.
And I want to get to RB here for a second. RB, what happened? I have to know. Just a little break in the football action here. Last week, RB had an incident. What the hell happened with you in a bungee cord?
I was loading the truck up. Wife wanted to get rid of an old couch. I threw the couch on the truck. Went to pull the bungee cord across. I got it like a quarter inch away and I can get it the rest of the way. I can only use one. And when I got it tight, it snapped in the middle and the metal come back and smashed me right there.
Oh,
took out that whole side of my mouth.
Wow.
RB's showing up like a hockey player.
These two, the front two have been gone for a while. I got kneed in the face without a mouthpiece one night and they were gone and I have inserts to cover it. But a lot of the time I don't wear them. So it just come through and it knocked this whole bottom and top section out now. So I'm basically screwed until they can get me in and just tear them all out and put implants back in.
Oh God, dental work sucks. The mouth pain fucking sucks.
Yeah,
I couldn't even. I mean, come on, I couldn't even imagine. Wow, bro. I hope things. Hope they get you in and get your work done. But man, couldn't even imagine because as I said last week, Mike, one time in a mosh pit, a keychain came back and smacked me in the mouth, and my lip was this big and it hurt so bad. Couldn't imagine getting my teeth knocked out, man. That is insane. Shit hurt, huh?
Well, I've had worse.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. Let's do get back on the board, see what everybody's saying. Yinzer Joe says this: they can bring Skylar Thompson and Logan Woodside back for camp bodies.
No.
Oh,
I think they're still scraping.
Skylar Thompson.
They're still scraping Skylar Thompson off the streets in Ireland. Let's go here to. Where are we going to go? I'm going to go right. Yes. I don't know if this is where we're at, but I'm going to. This is not where we're at. I don't know. I don't know where we're at.
You're lost.
Here we go. Tyrone says Mark been drunk this off season. Also, Mark Malone, I can't huff much anymore. He says he can't huff much anymore.
See that this is why his predictions have not been on point. You know,
I haven't thought of it that way. Good point. Let's go right here. Mark says, got to save those sessions for when they're really needed. I got you. Let's go to Ronald Albright. Always great seeing Ronald. What's up, dude? Ronald says this: to be honest, if the Steelers are going to continue to screw him over, I would like to see Pat Fryermuth trade in a deal to give him a true opportunity. Somber says this: the tight ends will be the focus of this offense, confirmed earlier.
right in the tight ends.
Anybody that was a Steeler fan had to be freaking out whenever we had the tight end situation we had. I've never seen anybody do that unless you have talented tight ends. We didn't exactly have the Rob Gronkowski's in the Travis Kelce's to make that a special thing. We just brought in Jonnu Smith had no elusiveness whatsoever.
No,
like you're slightly more elusive than Jonnu Smith is, and come on. Let's go right here.
It don't help either when you have a coaching staff that don't want to work the middle of the field, and that's what
you're right. You're right. Absolutely.
Hopefully, McCarthy and Angelica will use them appropriately, because if they do, my God, you have two awesome weapons with Muth and Darnell Washington right there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Somber says the tight ends. We got that. Steeler Freak John, KFC has a $10 bucket deal nationwide on Tuesdays.
This is why we never hear from Derpy on Tuesdays.
Because he's a chicken?
Because he's eating all that chicken.
Oh, yeah. Mark Malone says there ain't no lie, Ty. Let's go right here to... right here. That ain't no lie. Ty Christmas. Popeyes is better than KFC or Bojangles, but KFC is good, especially they do got a good pot pie. You ain't shitting. Tyrone says that Taco Bell was good, by the way. We do know that Ty was there earlier in the week getting his four soft taco supremes. Tyrone been hungry this off season. Tortillas says, let's go right here to Somber. Remember the old Geico pothole commercial? Oh no, your tire is all flat and junk. Oh, did I do that? Here, let me get my cellular out. Call your wrecker. Oh shoot, I got no phone because I'm a pothole. So funny. Ty says this fact: Steeler Freak left side offensive line, wide receiver, nose tackle, linebacker, top needs. John says Pickett was 2022. Robert says the contracts are not crazy anymore for the quarterbacks. It's not like it used to be. Tyrone says, don't bring me PTSD, freak. Let's go right here to Cody. Cody says Mike's confident Drew Aller could run the offense.
No, I am not. God, no, I am not. I watched that man play quarterback for multiple seasons at Penn State, and I have PTSD every time I hear his name. I twitch and cringe.
Let me ask you, RB. Now, depending, a lot of people are kind of on the same path and the same opinion on how we should handle this quarterback situation. Is there anybody that you would be happy to draft as far as any quarterbacks coming out of this year? Anybody that you would say, okay, I mean, it's a guy that could be the backup. It's a guy that could do this. It's a guy that could replace Mason. Is there anybody that you would be happy, a quarterback that we would draft, and you'd be like, hey, you know what? I like that. I like that. Is there anybody in this draft that falls in that category for you, RB?
Oh, we talked about that a little bit this morning. I kind of contradict with what a lot of people are saying that this is a terrible quarterback draft. I mean, if you were to take most of these guys and start them right now, yeah, it's a terrible quarterback draft, but you see a lot of guys in the bottom half of this board that have tremendous arm talent, have some good fundamentals and stuff that just need some work and some coaching. And I think that's what's starting to sway a lot of people's opinion on this. Like, you got a guy like Sawyer Robinson, who's just come out of that terrible, terrible, terrible Baylor offense where they just get back there and it's from the
Right.
shotgun 43 times a game. The kid's got really good anticipation. He's very accurate passer up to like 18 to 20 yards. He gets a little wild on deeper stuff. He seems to overthrow a lot of stuff. But he's kind of got like that bend thing going to where he can break contain. He keeps his eyes downfield. He constantly keeps himself set to unleash the ball and throw. He doesn't look to run. He gets out of trouble. He sets himself again. Will get him back, get himself back out of trouble. He's constantly looking to throw the ball. He has a plus arm for the NFL. If somebody's willing to take 2 or 3 years and work with the kid, there's something there. It's the same with the Cole Payton out of North Dakota State University. I mean, you got Taylon Green, who's an even bigger project than both of them. I think that's a 3 to 4 year project. But somebody like him, if that's not going to work, then you potentially have an all pro wide receiver there as well.
Right.
I don't know if you've seen the Gruden quarterback camp with him. Gruden was basically like calling him a retard in the nicest way possible, and saying, you not being open minded to someday being a receiver
Right.
is going to cost you multi-millions of dollars. Like,
I agree.
Do you view him kind of like Terrell Pryor? Like, see if it works at quarterback. If it doesn't, go be like an all-pro wide receiver.
In a sense, yeah, but actually it's funny because I look at him and see the exact measurables of 15 years ago of Matt Jones, a former Arkansas quarterback who just came in and said, "Oh, yeah, I can't play quarterback. I'll play receiver." And somebody took him in the first round. Like, you
Yeah.
got to figure in today's him maybe possibly going into third, mid fourth, going maybe second round as a wide receiver who's never done anything. He's going to cost himself $5-6 million, right?
Yeah,
Front.
yeah, easily a lot of money. And yeah, that's the thing with like a lot of these quarterbacks. You're gonna have to sit and groom them. But it's like you and I were talking in the group chat. Like Aaron Rodgers sat for 2 years, and you watch the tape from Cal to when he's finally started. Everything changed.
Completely different motion.
Throwing motion, his feet and everything was completely different. And we have that coaching staff for the most part. Like McCarthy and all those quarterback coaches that worked with them. So I keep going back and forth. I don't want to take a quarterback in the third round, but if you want to get one of these guys, you might have to
be upset
because you have to overdraft them for the most part. It seems like anymore. Yeah. So if we're lucky and one's there in the fourth, you get him in the fourth. Okay, like how many fourth round picks start and play right away or contribute game in and game out? Not a whole lot. So that fourth round wouldn't be bad to get another developmental quarterback.
No, and even like I was saying earlier, like I would rather have a fourth quarterback on the roster who doesn't dress, doesn't do anything. He's just there to develop, than bring in another like Tyler Matakevich or somebody who can run down like a complete dickhead and slam himself into some people and make 2 tackles a year. The NFL's slowly fading away from the kickoffs and the kick returns. Why waste spots on 4, 5, 6, 7 guys who only do that when you can have a guy just sitting here developing them? You don't have to worry about trying to sneak him back and forth with the practice squad. Just let him sit. Like, he don't even need a helmet. He don't need to do anything. Sit down and watch the game and shut up and learn what's going on out there. Talk to Aaron when he comes off the field. Hey, Aaron, why'd you do that? Hey, Aaron, what did you see here? Hey, why did you look at that direction first? Why'd you hold the ball a little second longer here? Like,
yeah,
it's not a bad strategy too. It's outside the box too for thinking in the NFL. And once one team starts doing something like that, they might do that. And if they go to 18 games, you're looking at roster sizes might
you're going to have to move it up to like 62.
Yeah, you get a jump on the rest of the league of trying to do stuff like that. Because, like, how many times do you see like the 48th man that's on the active roster on game day actually in there doing a whole hell of a lot? Not much, very minimal, if any. Guys dressing, they don't see the field. So what's the harm of having that fourth quarterback being a game day stretch, and then you have 3 on the active roster?
Yeah, like I said too, like my strategy for a while, I've been saying it, and I don't know why nobody's not tried it yet, because it's not delusional, and I know contract aren't getting as bad as they were 3 or 4 years. Never want to pay anybody $275 million contract. There goes the whole look at like Baltimore's going to be in so much
Yeah,
trouble now
absolutely.
because of that Jackson deal. Philly's starting to fall apart because of the Hurts deal. Arizona was absolutely nothing because of that Murray deal. Cleveland's shit because of the Watson deal. Why not just continuously every year take a guy who goes, oh, well, this is a guy who needs work, so let's give him some work, and you keep that fourth guy. And instead of paying these guys 250, 300 million, whatever they're going to be asking for soon, just let them go. Let somebody else pay them and have the next guy to step in. You keep your coaching lineages there. You keep the same system. You can evolve, tweak some things here and there, but you keep the same basic philosophy, and you draft guys and train guys to play in that system.
It could work. You just gotta hope you hit on the right quarterbacks doing it, but you also have to hope you hit on the right quarterback anyway to try and win anything. And there's very few quarterbacks that you like. I like Dak Prescott, but for what Dallas is paying him, you probably find that someone else eventually who's going to give you that production. And he hasn't won anything in the league. At least, like quarterbacks, like when they were getting paid money, like Brady, Mahomes, those guys won Super Bowls. They won multiple Super Bowls. Like there's exceptions to what you're saying, but yeah, for the most part, outside of like the handful of top 5 guys, most of these guys from like 6 down to 12 and 14 are kind of interchangeable.
It's interchangeable. Like the whole reason Andy Weidel left Philadelphia was because they paid Hurts. He didn't want to do that. He just wanted to keep recycling quarterbacks. And nothing against Jalen Hurts. He's won him Super Bowl. He took him deep into the playoffs. Jalen Hurts is one of the quarterbacks in the league that could get hurt, and they could put their backup in, and it's just going to be clockwork because that system is built to win the game off physicality. Yeah. And I think that's what McCarthy's kind of doing here. Like people do overrate this quarterback thing way too much, in my opinion. Like who's all these guys making $200-300 million? It's winning Super Bowls. None of them.
Yeah,
I mean, Mahomes' contract at the time was fairly big, but if you look at it in the long term, that Mahomes contract was a steal. Brady never took top money. Brady always took maybe bottom, or not bottom, but like 10 to 8 money because he knew he had to have pieces around him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Mahomes, I'm looking at like his average value. He's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16th in the NFL. Yeah. They're Aiden Hutchinson, Micah Parsons, Will Anderson now, all above him. And he's the only guy on this list who has like multiple Super Bowl victories. And that contract year after year is getting better and better for him. So yeah, he was, perfect example. He's like the only one that I would pay big money to because he wins consistently, and you can pinpoint like he's the big reason we won these Super Bowls.
Yeah, I don't care what people say. Travis Kelce's not a good. He's a 100% product of Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid.
He's an under.
Look at the running back.
He's a slow wide receiver.
Yeah. And then you look at all the running backs that's come in there and had success that were absolute washes everywhere else. Like McKinnon. What was the other dude's name that he had that one good year? Then they sent him off to Chicago and you never heard of him from again. I can't remember. And then just recently, what was that?
Kareem
Hunt was there. Pacheco. Hunt didn't do anything. Pacheco's that. It's that Andy Reid system's phenomenal for one.
Absolutely.
But two, Mahomes is so smart. And it's funny, you see these guys like Mahomes, Brady, and stuff like that. And this is a little off topic with the football thing, but there's guys that understood, I'm going to make billions when I retire from being a winner rather than multi-millions now by taking the biggest contract in sports because they knew long-term, you win, people are going to love you. You're going to have sponsorship ads. You're going to have publicities, deals. They're going to put you on TV. People pay top dollar to have a winner. It more than anybody.
I just find I'm looking at these contracts like Mahomes' average annual value is just $1 million more than Daniel Jones.
Yep.
And that is insane. Casey got a bargain there in Indy. Like teams that overpay for quarterbacks are just nuts. Of course, TJ Watt's not too far down that list either from Mahomes. Like I would do it for like a Mahomes type player. But very few and far between for quarterbacks like that.
Like,
Because I
we were
get what
talking
you're
again this
saying.
morning about the McCarthy thing. Look how many bums McCarthy has inserted in lineups for 3 or 4 weeks, and they've gone like, look, he absolutely robbed Seattle with that whole Matt Flynn situation. Seattle got fooled into paying Matt Flynn all that money, and it was just
Yep.
McCarthy's offense. Kaiser stepped right in, did the same thing, and we've seen how laughably bad Kaiser was in
Yeah.
He was
Cleveland before
terrible.
that. And then you get down, Aaron Brooks was a nobody before McCarthy got to New Orleans. He and Brooks in the second and robbed. I mean, he had a little bit more success, but he robbed Seattle of a good bit of money too. Hasselback wasn't what Seattle thought they were getting when he had put them couple big games up in Green Bay. And even recently in Dallas, Ben DiNucci looked like a legit top 15 quarterback under Mike McCarthy. So it just shows you like good offensive minds can make quarterbacks work. You don't need to pay a guy 175, 250, 275 million if you have the right coaching staff and system in place. You can just keep that money and build your trenches, build your players around them, and just have that guy do what he needs to do. I mean, it's basically all Hurts does. Hurts doesn't win games. Hurts just manages games.
I'm looking at guys. I'm looking at this list. They gave grades for the quarterbacks coming out in this draft, and we've been talking about a little bit ago. Asked RB about if there was a person, Mike, that they would take out of the draft in the first round that he would be excited about. These are the grades that were given to the people that are considered starters, spot starters, and backup grades coming out in the draft this year out of college. Mike, the highest graded person on this list is Fernando Mendoza. He's in an 8.8, so I guess this is a scale to 10. Ty Simpson right behind him with an 8.4, and Drew Aller behind him with an 8.2. Now that wraps up the starter grade quarterbacks in this particular list that was graded. The spot starter grades: Sawyer Robertson, 7.4. Carson Beck, a 7.3. Taylon Green, a 7.2. Cade Klubnik, 7.2. And Nuss, a 7.1. And finally, in the backup grade quarterbacks, Cole Payton, 6.8. Mark Gronkowski, 6.7. Haynes King out of Georgia Tech, 6.7. Diego Pavia, 6.6. Luke Altmaier, 6.4. Fagnagno from UConn, 6.3. Joe Aguilar, 6.2. Derek Robertson, 6.2. Jacob Clark out of Missouri State, 6.1. So again,
should be like a 4.
Right?
Exactly.
Obvious, terrible.
Exactly. But that is what the grade, they're basically saying there's 3 people right now that could be starters somewhat soon. And that would be Fernando, would be Ty, it would be Drew. And again, 2 of those names certainly been tied to the Steelers along the way. But that is these grades that they did give for those. Also, I do have another list I want to get into in 1 second, guys. But do let me jump on the board. I don't want to get, we kind of got buried there. Let me get caught up just a hair, and then we'll get to some more stuff. If I can just find that Mark Malone. Where the hell did that Mark Malone go?
He's dinner.
He's an hour 5 at Lowe's huffing the thinner. I really, if you were on the board, that would be a game ball. That would definitely be a game ball. Let's go right. I had it here for a moment, then it moved on me.
Yeah, I lost it too. I can't remember where we were.
All right here. I found it. Mark Malone says this: drafting a quarterback high doesn't really set you back like it used to, though. If he busts, it doesn't cost you too much. Also, Tyrone says, Cody, why don't Cody don't believe in Arch? Cody don't believe in Arch Manning?
I don't either.
Not a big Arch fan, are you?
Nope. He played the equivalent to single A ball in Pennsylvania and Texas. That's
right. Let's see, Derpy. You know what? I don't even know what he's talking about, so I'm just going to skip over this. Derpy says the very first thing I'm reading on his messages, fellows for fame that want Jordan Tyson. What? I have to say that.
we needless to say, we weren't at his pro day.
Okay. Tyrone, he says, you're late, Derpy. Sorry. Derpy says it's okay. Derpy then says, what do you mean I'm... And that's all he says. And then he follows that up by saying, "Did you report that already?" Bro, I can't even comprehend what you're saying. I don't know if I reported it already.
Oh, derpy.
Mark Malone says, yeah, hold on right there. Derpy. There we go. Mark Malone says this, I definitely draft Beck, Aller, Robertson this year. I know I sound like I'm on repeat. And you've been pretty consistent with those. Absolutely, Mark. Let's go right here. Somber. The Steelers were present for a lot of workout pro days. Won't stop them if a player falls. Tortilla says reported that yesterday. Ty, I'm happy I don't want an injury-prone wide receiver. Dude, John is in the house. Dude, great seeing you. He says, afternoon, fellas. Afternoon to you, sir. Let me try Derpy one more time. If this is a bust, I'm skipping him the rest of the way. He says, I've heard Steelers are more likely to sit back in the first round at 21. Somber says they didn't bring Cooper in either, and there's a clear interest. They're doing things different now. Despite no visit, Steelers still are high on wide receiver Omar Cooper Jr. That is certainly something that I still have in my notes. What's your thoughts on Omar Cooper Jr., RB?
I like Cooper. I think Cooper's one of the better complete packages in this draft. He's not like a specialist in any one thing, but he's that Swiss Army knife of a guy that you could really build like as a mid-tier number one, super high-end elite number two. It depends on how much coaching and what system fit he's going to get in, but the more I watch, the more I start to like Cooper more than anybody in this draft. I think if you take away the Tyson injury concerns, it's a different story, but to me, Chris Bell out of Louisville are my two favorite receivers. They're both kind of like do it all kind of guys.
And I've heard you mention Chris Bell before. Tell us a little bit about Bell.
Chris Bell, he's one of them guys who's built like a running back, like 6'1", 225. Okay. 230 pounds, fluctuates in between there. A lot of good good strong hands, good like rack ability, and actually has crisp routes enough that he gets open deep even without elite speed. He still finds himself getting some separation and being able to pull away deep sometimes. In the NFL, I don't see him being so much of a deep threat guy, but he's that guy that's going to catch the ball on a 3-4 yard gain, and he's going to turn it into 10, 12, 15 yards sometimes.
All right.
Tough tackle.
Certainly a name to keep our eyes on, Mike.
Yeah, with Cooper, I'm not too worried about like him not coming in for a visit. Like we have a couple guys on the coaching staff that one of them like helped recruit him or worked with him at Indiana, and then you have Signetti's brother actually works on the staff too. So if we need to get any information, if they needed any more information, it's already in house or can be found through have the brother talk to your big brother about him. So that doesn't concern me. I'm high on him too. I've been high on him the whole time. I just love the kid. I think like RB said, you put him anywhere in that lineup, you get him the ball in the hands, he's going to make people miss.
I think the other thing with that is a lot of people put too much stock in what we used to do around here.
Yeah.
It wasn't the league normal of interviewing every single guy that you didn't bring them in for 30 visits. They could have talked to Cooper at the pro day or at his pro day. They could have talked to Cooper at the Senior Bowl. They could have talked to him at the combine. A lot of the times with these kids who seem to be really solid people, you don't need to do anything but meet them more than once. You don't need to bring them in for a 4-hour meeting after a 20-minute talk and be like, oh, okay, this kid's a good kid. I don't need to go deep diving and probing into something. And there's no need to get free information. Like that whole Najee Harris draft was like obvious what they were going to do. I think from like February, everybody that they were probably
right. Still loyal says Cardinals taking Simpson. Let's go. I could too. I could very easily see that.
Not at 3 or 2 or wherever it is. I could see them bumping down, adding some more picks and taking Simpson around like 8 to like 15.
I could definitely see that as well. Tyrone says I could say that for real trade back to like 17 with the Lions. Right here, agree somber. Armac lives in Arizona. Let's go right here, Ty. He's cutting in and out. Cody says, RB, I hear that bungee cord is walking around looking for you. Yeah. Cody. Let's go right here. Somber says, well, Tyrone says, I'm only taking Fanu if Vega Cooper, Jr., Lemon, EM Dub, Oregon safety are gone.
I love Thieneman. taking a safety in the first round is an absolute luxury pick.
Yeah,
You got to have the rest of your roster set to take a safety in the first round.
Absolutely. Mark Malone says, Derpy, I hope so. Factions are Joe, Ty, Somber, and Tyson is coached by Ward. No different. No difference. Sorry. Christophus Omar Khan is going to stay put in round 1, but then day 2 and 3, he is going to cook. Steel Loyal, I can't imagine what teeth implants would cost nowadays. I don't even want to think about it because
14
the
grand.
smallest. Oh! Do I
Thank
want a
God
car or do I want my teeth?
Insurance, but
thank God. My goodness, I just know that the smallest procedures cost so much money. I couldn't even imagine, bro. Let's go right here to Mark Malone. I do want to see Hurlman and Galbraith in camp. Hurlman was he was fun last year. Tortilla says this. Is it? Yeah. He could do a backflip in the end zone though.
He's an athletic.
You're right. Tortilla, just do what Tater did and get wooden teeth. Yinzer Joe says, I don't know about you guys, but I was very impressed with Thompson. Steeler Freak says, Mike is nimble in a buffet line. That he is.
That I am. I'm dropping the pounds, but I can still work my way around a buffet.
Tortilla says the line ends with Mike. That's what he says.
That's fucked up, Tortilla. You know what, Tortilla? You just made the enemy list today. You and Cody can hang out over there.
Right here, John says that Cheesecake Factory, cheesecake from the factory is so good stoned. Somber says a lot of guys that need to sit a couple years. Tortilla says this: the Cheesecake Factory is brought to you by Mark Caboli, or taken from you because of Mark Caboli. Let's go right here to Somber. Somber says, so do I, Cody. Cody says he's going to be a Pro Bowler. John, I will take a gun that needs some clay. Cody, next Tom Brady. Yinzer Joe said that's a problem with the NFL, though. They don't wait long enough to actually develop a rookie quarterback. They usually forced to throw them in.
It used to be the complete opposite. Big Ben was the outlier. He was like, oh my God, he's playing right away. Peyton Manning played right away, but they knew that it wasn't going to be pretty because the team around him sucked. But it used to be you sat for 2 to 3 years, then you finally played.
Remember when Atlanta had Matt Schaub sitting for like 4 years and then he broke out in Houston? They wouldn't let Schaub see the field.
Yeah.
And it should be rare that a guy should be expected to be dropped in. There's a reason you're being picked in the top 10. Like most of these teams suck. You don't have an offensive line. You don't have weapons. Why subject your quarterback to that? Like Tim Couch, Carr, those guys didn't even have a chance to try and be anything. Yeah, like
Baker.
Yeah. Yep. It's surprising that these teams haven't learned, but it's usually the same handful of teams doing it over and over. So it's not a surprise.
Teams are more worried about making money than winning.
Yeah.
Tyrone said there's one potential, but no franchise guys. Cody says Mike wants to take Drew Allard. That's John Steeler Freak says this: Yinzer Joe plus colleges don't care to prepare their quarterbacks for the NFL anymore. Also, they are too busy making cash too.
Yep.
Cody says slowly talking himself into Drew Allard. Mike is. Ty says there is some potential in this class. I just don't see any franchise quarterbacks.
You're not going to see, but realistically, you might see one franchise quarterback every 9-10 drafts. The word franchise quarterback's the most overrated word, or most overused word in football. Like there might be 3-4 legit franchise quarterbacks in the league right now.
Absolutely. At any given time, I think there's about 4 to 5. There's no more than that at any given time. Somber says this NIL, in portal or effing these young quarterbacks, 17 different coaches in their college career. Shaking my head. I couldn't agree more with that. Tortilla says hard no. If you get a guy, you keep him. Let's go right here to Steeler Freak. John Mahomes always reconstructures. He's following the Brady model. Didn't Ben often did that as well with the with his
Ben
contract.
did a lot of reconstruction, but Ben also stuck his hand way down into Rooney's pocket to where Rooney's short arms could never reach either. So
right. Tortilla says we have money laundering con. We'll be fine. Cody says, unless it's Kenny. John says this. Brady also has a wife making 4 times more than he did at the time. That helps. Cody, Clyde Edward Eller.
Yeah, he was another one of them guys in Kansas City.
Yep, he was like what, a first round pick, had like one really good year.
Forgot all about him.
And then
one good season, heard from him again.
Yep.
Let's go to right here. Christophus says that Yinzer Joe, that is because head coaches don't want to lose their jobs. I agree with you. It's unfair, but they are in a business of winning, afraid to get fired. Steeler Freak John says this. Mahomes makes enough off of commercials to make up for the difference. Ronald Albright. Ronald says this. Steeler Freak, you say Mahomes is following the Brady model. You mean Patrick Mahomes is effing Giselle too. What? Let's go right here to right here. Mark Malone, 10-year contract on Mahomes, though. Think about accounting for all that guarantee if something happens. John Steeler Freak says this. Mahomes makes $30 million each year off of commercials. Wow.
Damn.
If that's real, that's crazy. Tortilla says, so if McCarthy is who do we say he is, we need to take the quarterback with the highest upside in green, right? If McCarthy can insert almost anyone in and get results, why take a guy with less upside? Go ahead, RB.
I see what he's saying, and there is one time too. You need to have some semblance of football IQ, and nothing against the kid, but being 6'6", 240 pounds, running a 4.2 340 or 4.33 with a 42-inch vertical, or whatever. If he doesn't have the IQ to understand, teams are going to look at that as a wide receiver and have some openness to it. You're not going to have the IQ to play quarterback in the NFL either. And it also stands out on tape too. He missed a lot of guys running wide open at Arkansas. He didn't even see him. And then when he did see him, there was times he put the ball 15, 16, 17 yards over their head. Like
right.
It's bad. But
yeah, his highlights are awesome. But like you said, once you watch the tape on him, a lot of yardage left out on the field because he couldn't process fast enough, or the mechanics weren't there.
Or there's a lot of times out there too where it was just a grown man playing against children, and he was the much better athlete, which he's not going to stumble upon in the NFL quite as much as he did.
You're right.
And that's the problem with a lot of guys. They're minimum Richardson. Boys out there. That's like some of these. Ryan and I were talking about this the other day. Like, I hate drafting guys that are like 24. Going to be 25 when I hate that because like
at least first round.
Yeah, in the first round, when you get later in the draft, okay, but like, my God, like a lot of people, at least online, that Stukes from the cornerback from Arizona, people are falling in love with him. He's 24 years old, going up against
18, 19
dudes that are yeah. So you better look that good out there, but like, you didn't blow the competition away. If he's there in the 4th round, I would love him, but I don't like guys that are older. But it's just a personal thing with me because, like, for me at that point, you're already who you're going to be in the pros.
Well, you're already 2 years above the league average.
Yeah.
You're losing 2 years off a guy's contract, basically, or off his career.
Yep.
Let me see where we be. Let's go right here to Tortilla. Tortilla says depends. Tyrone, I'm sorry, depends. Tortilla who they like. Steeler Freak John says this. Taking Rooney to start any rookie quarterback or Howard will take the date rape drug.
Jesus Christ.
Tortilla says this. Well, I didn't see why they like Aller or Beck and not Green, especially. The system is already doing the work. Is really doing the work, is what he's saying. Ty says,
I do agree with that.
Go ahead.
I've watched so much Aller and Beck because of people around here talking about it, so I really dove into both them guys. And it's like, damn, I can't put it together how guys so big generate no revolution of the football. None. Like,
Yeah.
they both throw so many goddamn wounded ducks. Like, Devlin Hodges would be buying season tickets up on the concourse with his shotgun waiting for these guys to take the field. He'd have his limit in a quarter and a half. I don't understand how such big, strong guys cannot throw the goddamn football. Like, it so many
Especially
wounded ducks, so many wobblers. I don't get it.
especially you made it to that level as being a quarterback and throwing the ball and you're starting. How is your spiral so
So bad. Like, you
right?
can't throw a spiral, and that's I understand you can develop stuff and coaching can help stuff. When you're throwing a goddamn football since you were 12 years old and you haven't figured out how
Right.
to throw a spiral yet, no amount in coaching is gonna figure that out.
No, you're right. Tyrone says Cooper Jr. best all-around wide receiver in this draft. He follows it up by saying Chris Bell's a beast. He tore his ACL though. John is
He's
Steeler Freak.
back
Oh,
on
good.
track. Bell's back on track. They didn't think he'd be ready until about week 4 or 5 of the season. The teams in Louisville has come out, he's come out, independent doctors have come out and said he's gonna be ready to start the process right away. He healed really, really fast.
John is Steeler Freak says who will be the deep threat guy? Who will be the deep threat guy? John is asking. Somber says Bell is expected to be fully cleared by training camp, as Harvey was just saying. Tyrone, I don't want him though. Christopher says, yeah, but Chris Bell ran a 4.4 at the combine. The ACL is healed.
That was Skylar Bell.
That was Skylar
Chris
Bell.
Bell didn't run.
Okay, gotcha. Let's go to Steeler Freak John. He says Rams only go off tape and telephone, no visits. Somber says the price of a hoopty. I'm going to jump into a couple things here. Let me grab a couple more of these messages, though. Tyrone said, yes, I don't want safety first round at all. I like Stooks from Arizona, is what Ty is saying. Somber, you wouldn't draft Chris Bell, Tyrone. Why not? Bounce up here just a little bit. And as I said, we'll get into a couple more things. If things would cooperate with me. Let's see. Mike wants to pay Drew Aller. Somber,
Funny.
Somber says Tyson, Tate, Lemon, Cooper Jr., Bell. Still Loyal says Jordan Tyson update via NFL Draft Scout. Teams comfortable with the injury history. Conversation starts at pick number 5 off the board, but no later than 16.
I believe that.
Somber says I'd take Stooks all day at his age. Let's go right here. Ty says facts, Mike. Why I kind of don't want Pregon. He's 25 already. Vega, Rutledge, my top 2 guards.
That's the one place where I don't mind taking an older guy is in the trenches.
I agree. Somber says he doesn't even have his man strength yet. Let's go right here. Tortilla. Well, most likely we're drafting a quarterback to sit and learn anyway. I didn't see why getting Aller or Beck or another Howard prototype is a good pick. We already have it. Get the higher upside and develop them. Tyrone says I'm still good. Tortilla follows his last message up by saying, most likely we're drafting a quarterback to sit and learn anyway. I didn't see why getting Aller or Beck another prototype. That was pretty much the same message. Let's do scoot up here. Somber on Stooks. Tyrone, Somber, you were just raving about him yesterday. Ty says Tyson, Mark Malone. Beck just had his elbow rebuilt, though. His arm should now be getting right. Tyrone says I love Stooks. I definitely want him. Somber, I was about to flame you. Tyrone says this. Sorry, I was replying to Loyal thing. My bad. Let me grab 2 more, and then we're going to jump to something else here. Tortilla says, damn, I didn't mean to post that twice. My internet cut out. It's all good, brother. And Yinzer Joe says, drafting a quarterback doesn't set you back. Ask Cleveland about that.
Well, the problem with that is, though, you don't need to draft the guy and then immediately play him.
You're right.
2 games later. Drafting the quarterback doesn't set you back. Being an absolute goddamn buffoon and starting every single one of them within the first 4 weeks of having them sets you back.
Absolutely. Let's go right here to Robert. Robert says this, just say no to Jordan Tyson. If I want an injury-prone wide receiver, I'd sign Yancey Thigpen. How about Cody? He says Mike has Drew Aller poster and sculpture in his closet like Helga and Hey Arnold.
How many times I have to tell you it's above my bed, the poster, okay?
Solver says, no way, you read it twice. And that's the thing. Usually when I'm just reading and I get through like a couple hundred messages, it's just, I'm just reading at that point. It took me about 3 or 4 sentences in that before I realized it was the same one. Let's see, at 69, Clitoris, John is saying, that's a smart pick for 69. Let's talk about a few other things here, guys, as we're kind of rounding third base here on the show. The Steelers, they had for their 30 pre-draft visits, of course, Nuss didn't make it in. Ty Simpson didn't make it in, but they did manage to bring in 4 quarterbacks for their pre-draft interviews, guys. Drew Aller, Carson Beck, Cole Payton, and Taylor Green. Is there anybody that you would have liked to seen? Of course, we know what everybody's opinion is right now with the quarterback situation. We've been talking about it endlessly for weeks and weeks. Anybody that you felt should have been here that wasn't? RB, again, Drew Aller, Carson Beck, Cole Payton, Taylor Green, or is this whole quarterback thing just kind of swirling wind right now, and it really has no relevance? What's your thought on the quarterbacks that were brought in, and is there anybody else that we should have brought in?
I would have liked to seen them bring Sawyer Robinson in to talk to him, but the talks that I literally just got the text, and that's what I was looking at. Apparently, they tried to schedule Nussmeier 5 times, and all 5 times he backed out. And I guess McCarthy is not very happy about that. He had 5 different dates to come in, and all 5 times within 48 hours before he called and canceled. And I'm guessing that would have probably brought them in. And now, not for draft purposes, because I don't think the guy's going to be drafted, but I would have liked this Jack Strand to at least talk to him, maybe look about an undrafted free agent, a guy to keep around the practice squad for a few years. He's very, very, very sloppy mechanically. He needs a lot of mechanical work. He needs a lot of coaching up, but the arm talent and the size that the kid has is uncoachable.
All right. Let's jump back on the border for. I know. Matter of fact, let me get back to this, guys. Four of the quarterbacks were brought in for visits. 6 wide receivers, 3 tight ends, 3 offensive tackles, 3 guards, 2 defensive tackles, 2 linebackers, 5 cornerbacks, 5, and then 2 safeties as well. That was the breakdown. And guys, 5 of the 33 players that came in all together, that's the pre-visits plus the locals. 5 of the 33 players have first round grades. Mekhi Lemon, of course, the wide receiver, Denzel Boston, Spencer Fanu, the offensive tackle, Vega, the offensive guard, and Manuel McNeil Warren, the safety. Those are the top first round grades visits that we have. Anybody did we miss out on anybody, RB? Is there anybody that again, you see things light years further than I do when it comes to drafting and prospects and everybody like of that nature? Anything of all those numbers I just said, does it all seem kind of consistent with what the Steelers should be doing? The right players were brought in. Is there anybody that we missed out on? What's your thoughts on that, RB?
I wouldn't have spent any time at all with Boston. I think Boston is an absolute complete smoke show.
Really?
And if you go back in history over the last 4 or 5 years, none of these Washington guys that everybody gets high on ever get drafted where they're projected to be drafted or turn out to be anything either. I mean,
right.
I was actually kind of high on Odunze, and I don't think he's been anything what people thought he was going to be. I think it's going to start to show that system is a little bit more wide receiver friendly than the actual wide receiver talent that goes to Washington.
Yeah, I was high on Rome as well. Like when the Bears got him, I thought that was a sneaky good pick. He just it been very inconsistent. Up there with
And the kid's
Caleb
a worker.
Yeah, I really liked him, but the numbers have been all over the place. He got made a
Been better, but not what you would expect for a guy drafted in his position with the hype around him.
Yeah,
I know Dunze's 4 or 5 times the prospect that Denzel Boston is. Denzel Boston's Dollar Tree Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah, looking at Dunze's numbers, they're not terrible, but I thought that you're hoping for a lot more.
A lot more. He's out of position a lot. He seems to run the wrong route a lot. He kind of gets caught up in press coverage more than he should.
It always seems like there's a disconnect between him and Caleb, where everyone else seems, like you said, to be on the right page, and he's just like a half second off his routes or something.
Processing's not good.
I
He's
thought
not
he would
reading
be.
coverage that great. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not been good.
yeah. Because I was
It's
hoping
not
like,
been
man,
terrible, but
yeah. Because I was like last year, I was like, man, if we Steelers could get him in the second round, that'd be fucking awesome. And the Bears got him. I'm like, that's a really good pick. And whew, up and down,
I
up and
also
down.
don't agree that the Toledo safety's a first round pick either.
No, I went back and watched some of his stuff. Like people hated the Terrell Edmonds pick.
He's
If
a
we picked
player.
him in the first round, it'd be
They would go nuts.
oh, it's like I like
He's
him.
not as good in coverage as people are trying to say as
No,
tackler. His
yeah.
coverage is
Oh,
not all
yeah.
that great.
He can light people up. He can do the peanut punch really well. He recognizes the play, but you can see him recognize it, but it takes a beat
second
before
to
he starts
react.
moving that way. He's not as twitchy as you would like to see as someone as a first rounder.
I think you got to be an otherworldly player at safety to be a first round pick, in my opinion. That or you're going to a team
Absolutely.
later in the first round who has that specific need for safety, and it's a luxury pick for them. Like the Ohio State kid, everybody loves them. I see a good football player, Downs, really good football player, is going to have a hell of a career. I don't see any way possible, anything that he does that qualifies him to be a top 10 to 15 pick. He doesn't create turnovers. He's not a hitting machine. The guy's in the right place at the right time. He's a solid football player. I don't think you can waste that pick on a safety.
Also, this week, guys, a lot of big stuff going on. We did mention at the top of the show, if you are in the Yinzerverse this week, you are not going to be disappointed by your sports options. We'll get into all that as the show wraps up. But I do want to say this, guys, if you are in town for the draft on Wednesday, the day before the draft starts, Terry Bradshaw, of course, the quarterback of the Super Steelers of the 70s, will be at the Fine Wine and Good Spirits on Smallman Street in the Strip District on Wednesday at 5 o'clock p.m. You want to go down and meet and get an autograph from Terry Bradshaw. You could do that on Wednesday just before the draft starts on Thursday. And finally, guys, before we do get into the next mode here of the show, the next process, guys, Deshaun Elliott, when talking about Mike McCarthy, what he's learned, how he feels about what he's seeing, of course, with Mike McCarthy and the way he's handling things. Mike, he says this quote: he's definitely setting a tone. I'm very impressed with the Steelers offseason program and participation already. Of course, Deshaun Elliott trying to come back from that injury. Things are going pretty good, I'm hearing. But Mike, along everybody else I'm hearing from within the organization, players, everybody, they all feel really optimistic about the way that Mike McCarthy is running the offseason programs, and very excited to get to work with him to see what kind of what they could put together for the 2026 campaign. I'm right there with them. I got to be honest, Mike, I cannot wait to see this whole thing play out. We don't know what we got. We do know it's all new. But right now, Mike, just another person coming along saying that they're pretty impressed and pretty excited with the way that Mike McCarthy is handling the football team.
I'm loving hearing that. This makes I'm liking the hire more and more. The more you hear about Mike McCarthy and the energy around the room, is looking to make a real smart move by getting a veteran head coach who's been around and knows how to deal with these guys, so that it knows how to keep the energy flowing. I'm loving it.
And one last thing here, I do want to bring this up before we, let me grab a couple messages, and I'm going to get into this one last thing. I think it's just interesting. Let me grab Cody here real quick. He says, back with the Clint Taurus. He says, hey, Clint Taurus is my pick. Mine too, baby, every time. Cody says this, I've created Monster Somber. Don't forget about Jack Strand, guys. LOL. They talked to him when they went to see Cole Payton. Gotcha. Steel Loyal. We need to draft Phil McGroin. We could always little Phil McGroin. You've created the Clint lovers. Tyrone says good. I'm glad he sucks. Nuss is the second coming of Pee-Pee Hands. Mark Malone is saying. Tortilla saying Harrison probably threatened him. Nutsmeyer playing games is what John is saying. Tortilla Nuss was just proving a point. We don't have enough bathrooms. Hey, is this going to be a problem? Let's do Scoot right here. Cody says Mike thinks Drew Aller is not a bust. Hey, you know what? If he says it enough, that people are going to start believing it, Mike. And
I'm going to be labeled as the Drew Aller truther.
You really are. Ronald says Omar Khan and McCarthy only attended one pro day, University of Georgia, and at that they only had only one player that they took to a private dinner, and that was Zachariah Branch. John,
Maybe they were just trying to put some weight on him. Isn't he like the real skinny kid?
Yeah, I was gonna say McCarthy isn't gonna have any interest in a 14-year-old prepubescent boy to play wide receiver.
I was gonna say he's like
not gonna happen.
He's smaller than Calvin Austin, I think.
When I was 16 years old, my dick was fatter than that dude's arms. Like, they're not gonna bring him into Pittsburgh with what they're building right now.
Steeler for John. MM says he could drink from under his Nussmeyer. Ty says Down's a monster. Laugh my ass off. Right here, Tyrone.
Why is he a monster though? Like, I seen you said later he has great IQ and he doesn't miss tackles. You don't draft a guy in the first round who doesn't change the game. You can have all the great IQ and not miss tackles all you want. You're not winning and losing games at safety.
Good point, Tyrone. If he does follow that up, you did address that. He says great IQ, don't miss tackles, covers well. Whoever gets him, great pick. I hope the Bengals don't. Cody says this Mike thinks Drew Aller will set a tone. He follows it up by saying a gay tone. Nonetheless, it is a tone.
A tone is a tone.
Not there's anything wrong with that. Tyrone also says this. He says, "Yep, I like the hire. He's won me over big time. We're gonna have a offense." And me too. And that's what guys, that's what I'm saying. I'm ready. I'm ready to see some offense. I'm ready to see a guy that is offensive minded. It's very exciting. A lot going on. Branch nice though. Tyrone is saying, Ty also saying Down's a game changer. Watch Ohio State. Games
I watched the other 13 guys that are on the field that are NFL caliber players too, playing against teams with 3 caliber NFL players at most. When half your defense is NFL caliber players, it makes your job a hell of a lot easier. He doesn't do any of the things that completely stand out to make him worth a top 10 pick. There's nothing there. He doesn't create the interceptions. He doesn't force the fumbles. And that's fine. I said he's going to be a fine player in the NFL. He's going to have a great career. He'll be a multiple-time Pro Bowler. You can't take a safety who's not going to change the game and in the top 10 and hope to have a successful pick. That's just the way I look at it.
I'm jumping forward just a couple messages just so RB can answer this as well. Tyrone says also in this conversation, he says, or is Styles not a game changer too?
I don't think so. I think Styles is another one of them guys that's great. But again, you start putting all these guys, you want to start talking about potential top 5 type picks together. It makes your job a lot easier when you're playing against future car sales and personal workers.
Right.
Like,
good point.
At some point, you're getting the Styles doesn't do anything on his own that has stood out and stood off paper. He's had a great combine. He set everything up, but there's nothing that completely jumps off that says this guy's a future Hall of Famer. And this is just me personally. I'm not taking a guy in the top 10 that I don't think is a future Hall of Famer. A guy that's going to change the game completely for my team. I'm pick.
Steel Loyal says, popcorn anyone? Somber says this. McCarthy was busy filling coaching staff and building the playbook. I think that might change next off season. Let's grab a few more. I'm going to go right here to Ronald Albright. Ronald says this. He says Z Branch is small. He also did more bench presses than Vega and is physically stronger than James Harrison in his prime. Dude, go and learn something before you spew. Uh-oh. I didn't know if anybody was going to respond. I was going to hit the bell if somebody would have responded, but there we go. Let's move forward on there. Let's go to this. Let's go right here. Cody said this. Told you Tyrone, Ohio State had the easiest schedule ever. That's what I'm saying. That the Big Ten certainly doesn't impress me. Mike, you went on for years and years about how this is a great conference. It really only has 2 good teams in it.
It's a very top-heavy conference.
Yes,
very top-heavy.
Yes, because the third best team, Penn State, doesn't ever beat any of the top 2 teams, so it's literally just the 2 teams and everybody else.
It's just the 2 teams, yeah.
And then they stole their mid-tier from the Pac-10.
Yeah, you're right. They did. All those teams that are just every the Northwesterns and I don't know. I'm going to move forward. Let's go right here. Cody says the hardest team Ohio State played all year was Indiana, and they lost. Steel Loyal says Vega didn't bench at the combine at Ronald. Also, Somber says how many future Hall of Famers are in this class?
I think you'd have 3 or 4, but I think they're all coming from the trenches, to be honest. I don't think you got too many skill guys that are looking on that trajectory.
All
A lot
right.
of good solid players. You got a lot of good, very deep draft. It's just it's not very top heavy either.
Tyrone says, bet you both top 10 prospects. But Aller, let's go here to Yinzer Joe. Yinzer Joe says, I think most of these teams use visits and dinners as smoke screens to throw other teams off just as others are unprepared for their pick. That makes a lot of
Yep.
sense.
It happens a lot. Like I said, what happens around the league at most places is that's what happens. We're just not used to seeing that here. We're used to just taking our cards, throwing them on the table, and say, "Hey, look, we got 3 of a kind. If you got better than that, beat us." Like we didn't try to hide anything here for the longest time.
It sure didn't seem like it. I just want to get one more thing right here, guys. Now, this is nothing referring to anything that we've talked to, but I thought this was interesting, guys. I don't know if you heard this. Let me know if you did. Luther Davis. Luther Davis. Anybody hear this story, guys? Luther Davis, the defensive lineman from Alabama, accused of impersonating 20. Listen, accused. I'm sorry. Accused of impersonating NFL players in a $20 million loan scam. Luther Davis allegedly put on wigs, makeup, and disguises to appear on video loan closings and to impersonate players.
It's funny. He went from David Njoku wig on one of them to somehow going to Michael Penix. I don't know where Michael Penix gained 145 pounds, but
wow. What? I have to bring this up. My God. One more time. If you're looking for somebody to draft, right? Former Alabama defensive lineman Luther Davis accused of impersonating NFL players in $20 million loan scam. He allegedly put on wigs, makeup, and disguises to appear on video loan closings and impersonate players. Never ceases to surprise you what goes on in this world. But Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website?
Oh my God, the2dumyinzers.com, where unfortunately you will not find me in disguise trying to impersonate Casey Hampton, but you will find all of our mock drafts, all of RB's breakdowns of his mock drafts, of some wide receivers, all at the2dumyinzers.com. Check it out, everyone.
Go check it out. A lot of cool things over there. The guys do a lot of work. The draft team does a lot of work. Mike does a lot of work. Very cool. Go check out the website, everybody, at www.the2dumyinzers.com. That's www.the2dumyinzers.com. Let me grab a couple more right here. And then we are going to get into this question of the day. Let's go to Cody. Ohio State wouldn't last in the SEC. I mean, Dirty South. Also, Steel Loyal, Ted Hurst is a future Hall of Famer. Ted Hurst. Somber.
That's a stretch.
You're right. At this point, for sure. Somber says, what in the ditty? Tyrone, Cody, yes, we would laugh my ass off. And Tyrone, past few natties been Big Ten. Cody, the F you talking about? Guys, let's get to this question of the day. Mike, put on your thinking cap. RB, thinking cap. Everybody on the board, everybody at home. This is the question of the day. And it is going to also be regarding the draft, Mike. And I'm glad we only have a week left of draft questions because, again, after a month of nothing but draft trivia, it's getting thin. Slim pickings, if you will. Put on your thinking caps, everybody. Here we go. Question of the day. How many in the infamous draft, guys? How many draft picks total did Mike Ditka and the Saints trade to get Ricky Williams in the 1999 draft? They moved up 7 spots to the 5th pick. How many picks did they give up to put themselves in that position? It was an infamous draft. You remember Ricky Williams with his wedding gown on and Mike Ditka on the front of ESPN magazine. It was a big thing, 1999. Take a minute to think that over, guys. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. every day right here on the Tube.
On Tube.
I'm seeing some different answers on the board. Tyrone is saying 5. Steel Loyal is saying 8. Again, guys, in this infamous draft of 1999, how many draft picks did Mike Ditka and the Saints trade to get Ricky Williams in the 99 draft? They moved up from 7 spots to number 5 to get him. Steel Loyal says, I remember this vividly. Also, John, I believe Dude is saying 7, it looks like. Cody, Bill Clinton, no surprise there with his answer. Mike, what is your thought process on this
Man.
question of the day?
I remember it happening. I remember laughing. God damn, they traded, I think, every single one of their picks to
Every
get him.
pick that draft, yeah.
And was that still 8 rounds or 7?
It was
I
still
can't.
7, but I think they had 2 6-rounders or something.
Yeah, so I think it was like they traded 7 picks to get him.
John, Dude agrees with you on the board. He's saying 7 as well. Somber, 69 420, my man. Also, still loyal says Hillary Clinton. Mike, so what's your final answer going to be?
I'm going to say 8 because you're probably going to include the first round pick to move up there is included in there. So
how many picks? I'm not including anything.
8 picks. I'm just saying 8.
So you figured out 7 and you're going to go with 8. Let's go with that. Let's lock Mike in place. Let's ask RB. RB, what's your thought process on this question? Again, it is how many draft picks total did Mike Ditka and the Saints trade away to get Ricky Williams in the infamous 1999 draft, moving them up 7 picks to number 5 overall to be able to get him? RB, what's your thought process and what's your guess? Or maybe you might know.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I knew they gave up every pick in that entire draft. And I believe I gave up picks in the next draft too. I'm going to say 10.
All right, 10. And is that your final answer?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to lock RB in on 10. Mike says 8. RB says 10. He's locked in. Tortilla is saying 34. Guys, the question of the day, one more time. Throw your guesses up if you got them. Joe is saying 8 as well. Right here, how many draft picks total did Mike Ditka and the Saints trade to get Ricky Williams in the infamous 1999 draft? They moved up 7 spots to get to that number 5 to be able to grab Ricky Williams. Very, very memorable draft. Mike is saying 8. RB is saying 10. A lot of different answers on the board. Guys, the answer is, in fact, the question, how many draft picks did Mike Ditka and the Saints trade to get Ricky Williams? The answer was 6, all 6 in 1999, every pick, and also 2 in the following year's draft, the year's 2008 total picks, guys. 6 from that year, added 2. That is the correct answer, guys. 8 picks. They gave away everything for Ricky Williams, and the Saints didn't really do anything.
I'd say that was an insane move by them. Like it was stupid, but it made great television.
Absolutely. You see Ricky walking around in his wedding gown and Mike Ditka like they were getting married and the whole thing.
And you know what's bad though? What Miami got, or who was it? Chicago they made the deal with. I don't think Chicago really capitalized on any one of them.
I don't either.
And so if they would have got Miami Ricky the entire time, it wouldn't have been so laughable. If they would have got Miami Ricky in New Orleans, it wouldn't have been as bad as trade when you've seen what Chicago got from those picks.
That makes sense. It really does. Let's grab the last couple messages here. Yinzer Joe says there was a lot and some from the next year too. Tyrone says laugh my ass off 8. That's wild. Also, Steel Loyal says laugh my ass off the pictures of Ditka and Williams
when he put the goddamn dreadlock wig on. Do you remember that thing was sitting in the press conference in like a polo shirt, sloppy shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I pulled it up. It was they traded with Washington.
Oh, okay.
So Washington, they took Cade McNown, Dwayne Bates, Nate Stimson, Kari Samuel, Desmond Clark, Billy Miller. Then the following year, they were able to get LeVar Arrington and Lloyd Harrison. Wow.
Yeah, so it really, if you would have Ricky in New Orleans, that would not have been a bad trade. I mean, Lamar was all right for a couple seasons, but Lamar fizzled out pretty fast.
Yeah, and when they drafted him, like what made him so special at Penn State was he was able to freelance. And then they drafted him like, he has to play our system. You have to you're only playing this. Like, well, you just ruined what made him special, and you see that all the time.
I
with
was
guys.
Like 15 or 16 years old, and I just remember hearing stories from because Penn State's pretty local. I can make it here in like 15, 20 minutes, depending on traffic. And you would hear stories of Lamar didn't even know what the goddamn play was. All they told him was LeVar, chase the ball.
Yeah. Yeah,
And that's
he
what
was
he
a
did.
freak.
Had to go hit punters and knock punters
uh,
around in
go
Penn
kill the
State.
quarterback, and that's what made him special, was being able to do what he wanted to do or needed to do. And then they get him in Washington, like, no, you got to be very rigid. And there's no freelancing. Well, you just took away 90.
You
You took
ruined
away
him.
what made him special.
Which is funny because we had the same exact guy in Kendrell Bell. They said Kendrell Bell was so
Yep.
goddamn dumb he didn't know what the hell was going on. He just said, "Go get the ball," and
Yeah.
that's all LeBeau expected him to do, was go get the ball.
Yeah, and then the goddamn high ankle sprains just ruined him.
Still
Oh,
Loyal says, "Yep, it was the Redskins. Yinzer Joe, wasn't it, to move up the Redskins? Yes, it was 7 spots overall to the number 5. It was to number 5. Finch, anybody in Las Vegas want to meet up with me this afternoon on the Strip? DM me. That's right. Finch is in Vegas. Everybody. John, Vegas.
Oh
Anybody
shit! I
else?
forgot prostitution is legal there, so you're good, Finch. You didn't have
That's
to hide.
that's right.
That's how Finch is getting his gambling money. He's
And
working
Finch,
hard.
so do get a hold. If you guys want to get a hold of him out in Vegas to hang out with Finch, maybe have a few beers, you can get a hold of him on Discord or get a hold of us anywhere here at the show. We'll certainly make that happen for you. Finch,
Beers
again,
or queers, he's fine with either.
Still Loyal says, yes, at Yinzer Joe. Tortilla Con's about to give up 12 for Goff. Guys, we are heading into, as I said, a very, very exciting time. If your teams are black and gold, very big things coming up. Pittsburgh Pirates tonight starting a series. First place Pittsburgh Pirates starting a series tonight against the first place Tampa Bay Rays. Pirates tonight. AJ Burnett will be throwing out the first pitch. Batman, he's in town. Tomorrow, you have Paul Skeen's Cy Young bobblehead. So a lot of big things going on for your first place Pittsburgh Pirates, on top of that other team from across town that's starting their playoff run tomorrow night against the Philadelphia Flyers. The Pittsburgh Penguins will be at home hosting the Flyers for an 8 o'clock start tomorrow in Game 1 of the first round matchup. Game 2 will be on Monday, and then they head off. So that kind of works out for the city and all the congestion and everything that's just coming up for Pittsburgh. But then, guys, once you get through with that, we're into the next week where there's a lot of speculation, Mike and RB, that just maybe Aaron Rodgers might make his announcement, and we at least know have a feel of what's going on. But then just a few days after that, the NFL draft takes center stage right here in the Yinzerverse, guys, right here in Western Pennsylvania. All of these big names, everybody we've been talking about, guys, will be in town next week for the 3-day event starting on Thursday. We do know that we're going to have Chop will be in the house, or will be on site all 3 days. Derpy 2 days. Finch maybe the last day, depending on how his schedule looks when he comes back from Vegas. Mike will be running streams. RB also maybe on Friday, Saturday, depending on his availability. Could be involved in some streams as well. So we do have a lot of things getting ready to, a lot of things planned and ready to move into motion for this NFL draft. So guys, a lot of sports. Mike, also that doesn't even cover the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, who are back in action tomorrow at home at the Highmark Stadium as they host the Detroit City FC team. So if you're a Pittsburgh black and gold fan through and through, you've got to be in your glory. Your Pirates in first place. Your Penguins are in the playoffs. The Steelers got the draft here. I mean, I was thinking of Christopher over the past couple of days. He says, man, I'm so jealous. I wish I was in Pittsburgh. And you know what? I at first I said, but the people, so many people, one place, concentrated amount of people. But the more I thought about it, I'm thinking, you know what? Damn right. Pittsburgh, the Yinzerverse, it's banging, baby. Western PA is the place to be, certainly for the next 10 days. We're going to be here for it all, man. We hope that everybody is here with us to enjoy and to get into all of this stuff as we do move forward. As I said, people will be down at the draft from the show. We got all kind of things. And don't forget, Finch is in Vegas. So if you are in Vegas and want to hang out the Fincher this weekend, you can do that. Mike, what's your thoughts? Today's show, how heading into the weekend, man, what's your thoughts? Again, 6 days.
6 days.
Till the NFL draft.
6 days to the NFL draft. Everyone is slowly talking me into like taking a quarterback in this draft and letting them develop. Before I really wasn't on board with that because I wanted to use them for everything but plugging the holes that we need. And I'm slowly coming around to it. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I just don't want to see one of our 3rd round picks wasted on a quarterback. I'd rather see us, if we were going to do something with the 3rd round pick, trade up, in the first round to leapfrog Baltimore to make sure we can get either Lemon or Vega.
Everything sounds great. I'm very excited, guys. Very, very excited. I can't even contain myself, to be honest with you. It is going to be the draft in less than a week right here. Unbelievable. Again, guys, if you're going to get into this Pirates series, it starts tonight, 6:45, game one. Bubba Chandler will be on the bump against the Rays. Penguins tomorrow, draft next week. And one thing I do want to say, guys, all this stuff, it's certainly going to make you want to get your buzz on a little bit. And if you do want to get your buzz on, do stop and get yourself some Duquesne Pilsner, guys. Duquesne Pilsner now available in 6 and 12 packs at your local Giant Eagles and in cases wherever cases are sold. Always helping us out, the people of Duquesne Pilsner. We couldn't thank them enough. So maybe stop, grab yourself some beer. If you're not a drinker, just stop by their social media, hit the follow, hit the like on a few things. I'm sure they will be thrilled to death with that. And Mike, we always have Duquesne Pilsner on tap here at the studio for every occasion. Mike, it is made right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and says right on the can, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
Also, not only while you're checking out the Duquesne Pilsner social media, do go check out ours as well, guys. We're all over the internet. You could find us at Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, even TikTok. And if you haven't had a chance yet today, do hit the like button down below. If you will, hit the sub, hit the share, even a comment. Any of those things will help in the algorithm, guys, and we certainly appreciate it all. Let me grab a couple more messages. I see some things referring to Finch, so I don't want to miss anything here. Let's go to Finch. Will be on the street corner waiting for y'all. Finch will be on the street corner with his high heels on, flashing some leg in case you're looking. Let's see. Cody says Finch was sure to show us his teeth yesterday on the video. If you've seen the short on the video, you definitely got familiar with Finch's teeth. But check that out if you will. Certainly entertaining in itself. Yinzer Joe says Ricky played like 10 years. Did he play on the Ravens? He was a Raven, wasn't he? Ricky Williams?
I think at one point towards the end he may have been.
Yeah, toward the end.
I think it had been 1 year, and he really didn't play all that much.
That's right. It was something near at the end there. I thought so. Ty says we tied right now. Also, Still Loyal says Ricky Williams was nasty on the Dolphins. The Mirror Visor Still Loyal says Cody says Mike's coming around to getting Drew Aller. I don't know Drew Aller, Mike. I'm starting to believe it. Tyrone says Vega or Cooper Jr. 100%. And Tortilla says Father Maxwell better announce our first pick, guys. We did talk about all the people that were announcing picks. We'll do it all again next week to keep everybody fresh. I just wanted to get the word out there, the picks for every team and all the people coming to pick for the Steelers. A lot of memorable, notable names. And Mike, a lot of people, your Paul Posluszny's from Hopewell, your Tony Dorsett from Hopewell. Everybody that you heard, well, that guy's from Western PA. Oh, that guy's from Pittsburgh. You're going to see a lot of these people. And also, Mike, the John Stallworths, the JPJs, the JPZs, everybody, a lot of Steelers as well. So it's going to be a Yinzer-packed draft, and it is going to be unbelievable. The stage is looking fantastic at the stadium, Mike. It's massive. It really is. And I know that the NFL, they're really excited about this event as well, as is everybody involved. I know the businesses, companies, vendors, the FBI, they're in town trying to keep everybody safe, trying to keep 800,000 people safe. So again, there's a lot of things at play here. If you're coming into town, plan accordingly. There's going to be a lot of people. Mike, and RB, it kind of feels to me what I kind of think that maybe living in New York feels to people there, because it's such a highly populated city, and it's all people from out of town that are constantly filling the streets of New York, the Times Square and everything like this. And then the people of New York are kind of, on the outside, just seeing this whole thing happen and just seeing the masses of people in their city. And it kind of gets that feel for me as well. So I think people in Pittsburgh are certainly, it's going to take some getting used to. Maybe right around the time it finishes up, might be right around the time you're getting used to, because that's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. And my God, is going to be nuts. It's too many people for me. My anxiety would be through the roof.
Absolutely.
I would just say to anybody watching this, it's going to come here and think it's a bunch of fake tough guys like New York people. We are actually tough guys in the Appalachians. So don't think that facade, if somebody starts smarting off or acting like a dick, that they're not going to hit you like some big mouth New Yorker. People around here will punch you.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, you are not going to knock RB's teeth out. It's not going to happen. Don't even think about it. You are not.
The bungee cord had to pull off a cheap shot.
So it is going to be a blast.
Oh, it got me good. I seen it coming.
I can imagine. And like I said, with that keychain, Mike, that hit me in the mouth, it's nothing compared to what happened to RB. And I can just tell you, it hurt very bad to get hit in the mouth with something like that. That's slingshotting at you. So I couldn't even imagine busting out half my front teeth, bro. I really feel for you. You'll get it all together, though, man. We will be back Monday, though. Again, we're going to get into all this stuff and so much more leading into the draft. When we come back on Monday, we'll be down to 3 days, just 3 days till the start of the NFL draft. So we'll have a lot to get into. RB, I think, is going to be heavily involved next week. I'd like to get Chop on the phone a little bit during the week, maybe, and see what Derpy and Finch are up to. Of course, Finch still out in Vegas. So a lot of things are going to be in, a lot of wheels are in motion, guys. We're hoping that you're going to be here the whole way with us because we do have a lot planned, guys, especially over these next 10 days here in the Berg. It is popping. I got to be honest with you, Mike, RB. I'm loving it. Makes you listen. You're always proud to be a Pittsburgh fan, but you know what? Times like this, it really there's something special to it. And it isn't often you get the draft. It isn't often the Pirates are in the first place. So at the end of the day, us Yinzers are certainly enjoying this time of year.
You just made me sad, though, now, because now I'm re-questioning about why did I decide not to do this? Like, I wanted to go to the draft. I made up my mind probably like 4 or 5 months ago. I wasn't going to afford bail money.
I hear you, bro.
Covered. Derpy got you covered.
Derpy will get you. Yeah.
Oh, I'll be fucked then.
Yeah, you sure will. You'll need him, and all he'll do is text you back 600 messages in a row and changes.
What time should I be there again? How about I just come on this day instead? Can I get a bus from here to there, or do
That's
I need
exactly what it is.
Or?
That is exactly what goes on with them. Steel Loyal says, I feel that, RB. Steel Loyal also says, bring the holy water. Ty, great show, you bastards. Just got off. Be safe, my man. I hope you have a great weekend, sir, and thank you. Cody says, I seen the bungee cord the other day talking mad shit on RB.
That's about 230, 300 feet deep in the fucking woods now. That thing hit me and I picked it up and just fucking turned and launched it before anything.
Man. Well, like I said, I hope things get better for you there.
I'll be good on Monday. I already have fake veneers coming in, like custom fitted veneers for at least now.
Nice. Hey, man, it's all good. If you had no teeth, you know what? Your knowledge and your value is certainly so great. You could have no teeth, one tooth even, RB, and it would still be all good in the hood. Let's go to Tortilla real quick. Sorry, my phone with I'm on the phone with the president. Laugh my ass off. RB yeeted that shit, guys.
I just yelled fuck, and I threw that thing. My wife goes, what's wrong with you? It's like, the thing just hit me in the fucking mouth. Like, I just lost half my teeth. She thought I was joking.
Man, could you imagine if I hit you in the fucking eyeball or something?
I'd have rather taken it in the eyeball than in the fucking mouth.
Would you really?
I could get a glass eye put in for maybe $25. And I got fucking 15 grand to get my teeth fixed.
You could buy a car or a down payment on a house.
I need a car too.
UFL, guys, tomorrow, Dallas at Columbus, 8:00 tonight. UFL football week 4. St. Louis at DC tomorrow at 12:30. Also, following that, Orlando at Birmingham. If you're ready for some American football on your television over the next couple of days, the UFL does have those games. Again, the Pittsburgh Pirates starting a series with Tampa Bay tonight. Lots of events going on there over the weekend. The Pittsburgh Penguins Best of 7 series with Philadelphia starts tomorrow, and the NFL draft, guys, just 6 days away. We'll be into all this stuff and so much more on Monday at our regular time. We got a lot of big things planned. We hope to see everybody then, guys. Mike, I guess I already got your thoughts for the day. RB, you're heading into the weekend, brother. Any big plans?
No, I'm just wanting to go to sleep and not wake up till Thursday about 6:30.
I really hear you. And you know what? I just seen
an idea though. Cody said Derpy staying at your house. If Finch goes down there, we should handcuff him to Derpy for the entire day, and they need to report in during the live stream.
See, this is what
together.
This is the brain work that we were so starving for, Mike. Listen to all these ideas RB has.
I like it. I love it.
Especially if Derpy has to shit and Finch got to stand in there beside him.
In one of them porta potties, and there's
and then like Derpy's wiping hand is cuffed.
Yeah.
So So Finch either has to face the indignity of his wiping for Derpy, or the other hand down there. Oh yeah,
you guys
I'm
say
all
Finch's wife is a saint though, so I wouldn't want to do that to her with Derpy stuck on there on the other side of the bed
that's
with her
true. This
throughout
is
the night.
true.
Yes,
We'll put her up in a nice hotel for the evening.
very nice lady. Cody says that poor toilet, Finch, staying at your house. Also, let's go right here. Finchy says, "Go Steelers." Steel Loyal says, "Laugh my ass off, and eye is cheaper than teeth. Welcome to the U.S." And also, Man Who Needs Cookies back on the board. I do want to say welcome back to Man Who Needs Cookies. Man Who Needs Cookies says, "Sorry guys, be right back. I just sharded." Handle your biz, bro. Handle your biz. Cookies, shards, whatever the case is, you handle that. Tyrone says Finch would hold Derpy's phone. Guys, so much stuff coming up. Again, we'll be back on Monday at our regular time to do it all over again. Lots and lots to get into next week. So we hope to see everybody back then. Let me say also, guys, I forgot this the other day, and I really felt bad that I forgot this, Mike. I forgot to say thank you to everybody. I truly did on Wednesday. I went back and watched the show. I'm like, that is the first time that I forgot to give a umbrella thanks to everybody at the end of the show. I truly felt bad about it, guys. I do want to say this. Thank you so much to everybody for taking your time out, hanging out with us and watching us today. We certainly appreciate it 130,000%. We truly, honestly do. Thank you, guys. I do want to say thank you to everybody on the board. You guys always make things interesting here on the show, and you were such a big part of the production and everything that we do. Thank you. Beyond words, the thanks that we have for the board and everybody at home watching, listening, maybe watching on their phone at work, maybe in the gym listening, maybe even in the car just listening. Guys, we want to thank you too. You all make it work. You really do. You are the lifeblood of this show. I always say it and I always mean it, guys. And Cody, I know that, sir. We couldn't appreciate you more. And everybody, guys, thank you so much. Even the Penn State guy, Cody says. Let's see, Mike. We're going to get ready to wrap up, but I do want to say this. I do have a personal message that I just got from Finch, and I think it might be funny because I see that it has the word handcuff and derpy in this message right here. So just give me one moment. I can pull it up. Finch says this: "Please don't handcuff me to derpy at the draft, please, for the love of God."
That seems as someone who really wants it to happen. He's just trying
that's
to
like one of them reverse psychology things. Like, I'm not doing that.
I'm not down
wink,
for
wink,
that.
guys. I'm not.
Right, as he's giving you his wrist to put the handcuffs
Don't handcuff me.
Don't do it. But
It's gonna be them.
It's
gonna be them ones with the pink fluffy shit all over the handcuffs too.
Like from Spencer's Gifts.
Yeah.
Tyrone says JPJ is the GOAT. I'm out. Much love. You to go, Tyrone, and you have a great weekend, my friend. Thank you. And also Ty says poor Finch. If we can make it happen, we're gonna do it, guys. We're gonna make it extra special next week. So again, so much going on this weekend. Enjoy your Pittsburgh sports as we get ready for the draft next week. So much going on. We'll get into, again, as I said, all this. We're going to have RB involved big time next week. People heading down to the draft. So, again, you're not going to want to miss out. We'll see everybody on Monday at our regular time. RB, anything before we go for the weekend, sir?
No, I can't wait for it to get here. Like,
couldn't agree more, my friend. Couldn't agree more. Tortilla says derp psychology. Mike, I'm going to come around one more time for you. Speak now, forever hold your peace. All right, my friend. Thank you so much to everybody again, and we hope to see everybody back on Monday. I want to say have a safe weekend because, again, we have big things coming up. We don't want to see anything happen to anybody. So stay safe this weekend. It's going to be nice weather. Maybe get out and do something and just enjoy yourself, but stay out of trouble. Football, UFL, Pirates, Penguins, draft, all coming up, guys. We're here for it all. We'll be back Monday to get into everything. So have a safe weekend, everybody. For Finch, for RB, for Chop, for Derpy, for myself, for Mike. Have a great weekend, and we'll see everybody on Monday. Bye-bye.